Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Monday Night Giants Therapy Session. As we crack open a beer and drink our sorrows away, man. Why is my hat always crooked? Like, what the hell is this hat? Crooked like the damn ownership. Let's pour this beautiful beer into this glass. There we go. All right. What's up, people? How we doing tonight on a Monday evening after another New York Giants loss? This one, they all hurt. It just sucks having to lose to Dallas. Like that's especially when we had them beat. We had that. I felt like we had that game won a number of times. Had a chance to win it at the end of the game, and went 3-0. I thought the play calling was bad in that last drive, and of course, we just didn't execute. What's going on? Little Munchie, Scotty H, Jared Williams, Johnny Gonzalez, King Trizzy, 49ers, Cristomo, James Carpenter, Ligma, Isles fan for life, J G-Man, what's going on? David A.V., Arian Usapi, Flickers, Gavin, Steve, Chill Daddy, McCann, Cornell, Giuliano, Meet Tarian, Cowboys Digital. What is going on? Man Boy, Giants fan, Andrew Boyle, DJ SK, Crispy, Zachary. Thank you guys for being here, man. Appreciate it very much. MH, what's going on? KP, Adam, our ROSD, what's going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Bears Fury Real. Slink, what's going on? Thank you, sir. That had to be made. Mark, thank you for the super chat. Brilly, man. I appreciate it. Says Justin Herbert's lighting it up tonight. Well, I'm going to tell you about Justin Herbert. Go back. Might have been the first ever Talking Giants. It was either the first or the second. It was either the first or the second episode of Talking Giants. Go back to that, and you'll hear me talk about how I wanted Justin Herbert out of Oregon. Now, Herbert did not come out that year. Herbert came out this year. So he did not come out as a junior, but I was assuming he was going to. You can go back and listen to me say I wanted the Giants to draft. I wanted the Giants to either go after Teddy Bridgewater in free agency, or I wanted them to draft Justin Herbert. That was what I wanted them to do. I don't know why this shadow is behind me. That's going to irritate me. I don't know. I don't know what you were supposed to do, but that's I wanted Justin Herbert. That was a guy that I really liked out of Oregon. So doesn't surprise me. The first throw that he made to Keenan Allen, I'm going to tell you right now, that first throw on the run, throwing that ball 20 yards into the end zone on a line. I watched that play. I said Daniel Jones can't make that play. That's exactly what I said. I said Daniel Jones can't make that throw. Daniel Jones could not make that throw that he made to Keenan Allen. It's a fact. He couldn't make that throw. Herbert's got better arm talent. And, that's why I get a little sick and tired of the excuses about Daniel Jones and new ownership or new management, everything else, new coaching. Because I gotta change this background. I can't deal with this. Hold on one second, guys. I can't not deal with that. Put something darker behind me here. There we go. Much better. I ain't got to look at that stupid shadow. But that's what I'm talking about. So, Herbert's a rookie. He looks fine. I don't know what the problem is. Joe Burrow is doing as good as he can with that team. It is what it is. Marjorie, what's going on? It is therapy for the soul. We all need therapy here, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to turn. They say Gettleman did also, but he was a lock. The Giants went back to – yeah, he did go back. That was what I'm saying, Svi. I think a lot of Giants fans wanted Justin Herbert in 2019, but he went back to school, which is why you don't reach for a quarterback when you should have went Josh Allen. Now, again, I know that I've kind of done a 360 on Daniel Jones, right? I was really against it at the beginning. I watched film on him. I got on board with it. I watched him last year. So, wow, this kid can play, and now I'm watching him regress week in and week out. And now I'm starting to go back to I have no faith in this guy, and we chose the wrong guy. Now, I've always said I wanted Josh Allen at 6. That'll never change. I'll never change my opinion on that. No matter how good Daniel Jones would have ended up, I would have wanted Josh Allen. I just thought that was the guy. You need a guy that when you're picking 6th overall and you're a bad team, you need a guy that comes in and makes an immediate impact. Now, Daniel Jones did get thrown into the fire early on in that season, but I wasn't the pick. You know, and we could have had Montez Sweat instead of Dexter Lawrence, so they could have done a lot of things different. Simon, thank you for the super chat. Really, brother says, my man last night had me questioning the rigged NFL. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, those were penalties. They were. I don't have an issue with them calling illegal shift because Cam Fleming wasn't set. What I have a problem with is the fact that they called it so late. An illegal shift, illegal formation, those type of things, as soon as the ball snapped, flag goes out, you would have saw it. They did not throw that flag immediately. The flag did not come out till the play worked, and then they threw the flag out. That was my problem with that call. As far as the pick play goes, I don't give a damn if the guy looked like he was blocking or not. That play is run on a consistent basis. It is never called a penalty, and they called it a penalty. Not just the penalties that went against the Giants, the ones that did not go against the Cowboys, the big play that set up the field goal, the blatant holding that allowed Dalton to roll out and hit Gallup down the field. That was a hold. It's a hold all day. Dallas held all day. They tackled our defenders to the ground. They spun them around. Those are holding penalties, not called. They consistently jumped in the backfield before the ball was snapped. Offsides, not called. So it wasn't just the penalties that took the touchdowns off the board. It was the penalties that were not called that should have been called against the Cowboys. That was my problem with the officiating yesterday. And I see Clete Blakeman, is doing this game tonight, and he's an idiot. And luckily, Drew Brees scored that touchdown for the Saints, but there was a blatant pass interference in the end zone when the receiver got thrown to the ground, and they didn't call it. Chisel, thank you for the super chat. Really, Justin Herbert's playing insane, has no line. I preaching to the choir, my man. You're preaching to the choir, Chisel. I'm not making these excuses for Daniel Jones. I'm not making excuses for Andrew Thomas. I'm not making excuses. All of these guys are in the same situation. All of these guys came in, no mini camps, no OTAs, no training camp, or not a legitimate training camp, no preseason games. It's not just the Giants that had this. All teams dealt with it. I am not a PFF guy. I am not an analytical guy. I'm not an analyst. I'm not a professional. Don't claim to be a professional. Don't want to be a professional. I'm a fan. I give you my fan's perspective. When I watch a game, I just go by what I see. I look at the eye test. And week in and week out, I'm starting to sit there and go, now I'm questioning, is Daniel Jones a guy? I'm starting to look at the way Justin Herbert plays. I look at the way Joe Burrow plays. And I sit there and go, Daniel Jones isn't the guy. You know, this is just how it goes. It's unfortunate, but this is what I'm seeing week in and week out. He can't do it. He's regressing. He stares down his receivers. He doesn't go through progressions. He holds on to the ball too long. He still fumbles. He turns it over all the time. And we've had a number of times where we could go down the field and tie the game or take the lead, and he's failed every time. G-Man Rising, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. Brilliant, my man. He says, I just think Jones is a guy like Tannehill who needs a lot of talent to be well. To me, that's not a 6th overall guy. I think his ceiling isn't high. Well, you know what's funny that you mentioned that, G-Man, because that was his comparison. They said that coming out of the draft, they said his ceiling was Ryan Tannehill. That was what they said. I didn't want to believe that. I wanted to believe he was a rich man's Alex Smith. That's what I wanted to believe. But as I said, and you nailed it, I've mentioned Dak Prescott a bunch of times because I don't believe Dak would have been very good with the Giants or the Jets. But I believe that Daniel Jones would have been really good with the Cowboys because of the talent around him. Some guys just need all that talent. The difference is Dak was a 4th-round pick. Daniel Jones is a 6th overall pick. Like you said, a 6th overall pick is not supposed to need a ton of talent to succeed. You're picking a quarterback 6th overall because he's supposed to carry a team. This is why I get mad at all the guys like, he has no talent around him. He has no offensive line. He has no receivers. He doesn't have anything. He's got a new coach. It's like, how many excuses can you make for this guy? He's the 6th overall pick. They're supposed to be able to carry the team like Justin Herbert is. Yeah, I know the Chargers are 1-3, but he looks good. I would have no problem if the Giants were 0-5 and Daniel Jones looked good. I'd have no problem with it, but he doesn't. That's my biggest issue. We went into this season, I said the Giants, my prediction is 6-10 for the Giants. All I want to see is us win a game against Dallas, win a game against Philadelphia. I want us to be competitive against better teams, and I want to see our quarterback take a big step up. This is what I want to see. Have saw none of that. Now, we were competitive against Dallas. Probably should have beat them. Definitely played the Rams very competitively. Had a chance to tie that game at the end of the game. Thought we played the Bears and the Steelers competitively for a half. First half against the Steelers, second half against the Bears. We haven't been able to put one together yet. But Daniel Jones hasn't looked good in any game he's played in this year. Not one. Not one. He has not made me, not like the first game against Tampa when he came in here and scored 4 touchdowns. Not like the game against Washington when he threw 5 touchdowns and 350 yards. Not against the Jets, and I was at that game where he looked really good. There was those 3 games where he looked phenomenal. And I said, we got to build off of that. We haven't. I've not seen one of those games where Daniel Jones made me go, wow. Not one. Not yet. Not yet. Do I think we'll make some trades? Marjorie, if we make trades, we're sellers. We're definitely not buyers. So if we make a trade, it's for picks. And I don't really know who has trade value outside of Evan Ingram. Maybe Leonard Williams, maybe Dalvin Tomlinson, maybe. I don't see what we get for them. I'd rather just get the compensatory pick for Leonard Williams. And same thing with Evan Ingram. I mean, you'd get a 3rd-round pick for Ingram. If you don't get that in return, I wouldn't trade him. I don't know who else we could trade. We really don't have anybody worth a damn. We really don't. I don't know. I don't know who they would trade. It would be difficult. G-Man Rising, man. Thank you, man, for the super chat, brother. Brilly says Gardner Minshew in Jacksonville was a 7th-round pick. He has a 102 rating, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, no offensive line, bad receivers, no running back. He's played 3 good defenses. Again, my man, you are preaching to the choir. I like Daniel Jones. All right, don't get it twisted. I like him. I'm rooting for him. He's our quarterback. I want him to succeed. I want him to be great. But I haven't seen it, and I don't make excuses for it. I don't like – I mean, again, people are going to see what they want. They're going to see things differently than me. That's fine. I respect everybody's opinion, whether you agree with me or don't. A lot of people don't. That's fine with me too. A lot of people do. But if they want to keep making excuses for Daniel Jones, to me, you're making excuses for losing. To me, that has become accepting of losing. No, we have no offensive line. We have no this. No, we don't. But we don't have a quarterback either at this point. That's a problem. That's a problem. When Gardner Minshew is outplaying Daniel Jones, got a problem. When Justin Herbert's outplaying Daniel Jones, got a problem. Right? He's a rookie. When Joe Burrow is outplaying Daniel Jones, got a problem. When everybody's outplaying Daniel Jones, we got a problem. And if Daniel Jones isn't the worst rated quarterback, Carson Wentz was. I don't know if Wentz did anything to help himself. I don't think he did. But, I mean, you can't have that for a 6th overall pick. And the Eagles can't have it. And, at least Carson Wentz gave him a couple good years. And led him to a Super Bowl. I mean, I know he didn't play in a Super Bowl, but they were great that one year before he tore his ACL. Andrew Marchese, thank you for the super chat, brother. Really, man, I appreciate it. So the reality of Daniel is that he's a decent quarterback, good enough to succeed with the right team around him, not good enough to win with deficiencies. Exactly. And that's the problem. Because when you're the 6th overall pick, you have to be good enough to carry your team with the deficiencies. You have to be that good. That is why you're picked in the top 10 as a quarterback. Because you're supposed to be able to lead the team, not because you're waiting for all this talent around you. These quarterbacks that come out, that are going to be on terrible teams, they don't all fail like this. Okay? It was a strange pick. It was. And you all know my reaction. I was not happy. So many people, like I said, told me, Bad Dog, your first reaction is usually the best. You're usually the right one. Don't try to convince yourself he's good if you don't like him. That was what I was told. Now, I did watch the film of Duke, and I did like him. I thought he'd have better talent here. He had no talent at Duke. And I said, well, he's got better talent with the Giants. Now, he hasn't. He wasn't really good at Duke. He was good, but he wasn't really good at Duke because he had no talent. I thought the Giants would give him better talent. We haven't. But this guy can't succeed without talent, so he should have been 6th overall. That's just the way I'm going to look at it. And I will always say we should have taken Josh Allen. Even if the guy turned into a 40-touchdown, 10-interception guy, I still think Josh Allen was the pick at 6. G. Kells, man, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Really. He says, if Big Blue gets the first pick, are we taking Trevor Lawrence? Absolutely. They will take Trevor Lawrence. There's not a doubt in my mind. Dave Gettleman's gone, and new GM's going to want his quarterback. And you can't pass on Trevor Lawrence. You can't do it. you know. The other thing is Daniel Jones will be going into his third year at that point, and he's going to have one more year in his rookie contract and then a fifth-year option, where Trevor Lawrence will be coming in, you know, is his first year, and he'd have 4 years on a rookie contract. Now, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that with you guys for a second right now. You guys that want to defend Daniel Jones so much, I just want to ask you guys a question. Chislo, thank you for the super chat. Really. He says, y'all got to stop with Jones has no wide receivers. Ingram, Tate should have had big games yesterday, but Jones stares down Slayton too much. Love DJ, but I need more. Yes, and he stares down Ingram a lot too. And he's a first read guy. That's a big problem with me, is that he doesn't know how to go through progressions, and he's a first read guy. So, Chislo, I agree with everything you say. It sounds like the Giants receivers are inept. They may not be the greatest, but my God, they're serviceable. Golden Tate can play. Darius Slayton had a great season last year. So why is Darius Slayton not able to? You can't tell me Darius Slayton had 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns or 7 touchdowns, whatever he had last year, and all of a sudden he can't play? All of a sudden he's no good? This guy was great last year. Looked like the steal in a draft. And all of a sudden this year he is a ghost. Right? So how can you tell me that all of a sudden you don't have any receivers? I mean, he had the same team around him last year pretty much. Supposedly, we improved the offensive line. Now, I know losing Barkley is sucks, but he threw 24 touchdowns in 12 games last year with the same team around him. So I don't get it. You know, you can blame that on coaching. You can blame that on learning a new system. I blame it on, you know, all of it. Daniel Jones has to do better. Pastor Ray, you're the man. Thank you for the super chat. Brilly says DJ is at a spot with 31 other men in the best league in the world. There's always better talent waiting. As Giants fans, we don't owe anyone patience. And I agree with that too. We don't. There's a reason a lot of Giants fans are impatient. I don't understand. People are talking about the last couple of years, talking about this is a rebuild. The problem is we've been bad since 2013. So this is 8 years, you know. Like I said, 2011 or 2016 was an aberration. We weren't a good team. We won a lot of close games against a really weak schedule. Got in the playoffs, got crushed. So we weren't a great team in 2016. Been a bad team for a long time. Mark Edelman, thank you for the super chat. Really, my man, really appreciate it. He says, I really think it was Pat Shurmur that helped him. That's a great call. I do. I think Pat Shurmur was good for Daniel Jones. Pat Shurmur is a good quarterback's coach. Problem is he's not a good head coach. So they made a mistake. They should have brought Pat Shurmur in as the offensive coordinator and not the head coach. That's what they should have done. That way he probably would have kept his job. Although maybe they would have fired the entire coaching staff. I don't know. I don't know how that would have worked. I don't know who our head coach would have been, but that's what they should have done. Crimson, thank you for the super chat. Brilly. He says, if we have pick 2 and the Jets have 1, what should we do? This is a great question. I do not like Justin Fields. The guy was a failure at Georgia. He's succeeding at Ohio State like most quarterbacks do because they play in the Big Ten. They succeed in that system against weaker teams. And then they get to the NFL and they stink. Terrell Pryor, Cardell Jones never even made the NFL. Dwayne Haskins is already benched. They just don't succeed. Number 2, you could definitely look at Trey Lance. This is a guy that a lot of people really like. I need to look at more film on Trey Lance, but a lot of guys love Trey Lance, say this guy is going to be great. He's from South Dakota State, same school that Carson Wentz came from. Or you trade back. And that's probably what I would rather do. I would rather trade back and get a ton of picks. I would trade back and I would get Penei Sewell. It depends on who you're trading with, but if you could get Penei Sewell, trade back, get a couple. You would need 2 first-round picks. You need if you could get 2 first-round picks in 2 seconds for that second pick, or 3 first-round picks in a second, you do it. You do it. But this is what I want to ask you guys here about Daniel Jones. Because so many people are like, Daniel Jones just needs talent around him. He needs talent around him. So it's taken us a while to get talent around Daniel Jones, correct? Well, he's going into the next year will be the 3rd year of his rookie contract. So say it takes us 2 years to get talent around him, 2 years. And his contract's up. You want to pay Daniel Jones $34 million a year, hoping that the reason he's struggling is because we have no talent? Do you want to give Daniel Jones 5 years, $170 million, hoping that the reason he's not succeeding is because of talent? Do you want to give him that? Because he's going to get that money. Franchise quarterbacks get that money. Do you want to give Daniel Jones $170 million for 5 years, hoping that he's not doing well because there's no talent? See, I don't. I can tell you that right now. I don't want to take that chance. I want to invest in that guy long term, hoping that the reason he's not good right now is because of his talent. And again, his lack of progression reads, his lack of audibles at the line of scrimmage, his lack of pocket presence, his lack of decision-making in the pocket or out of the pocket, that has nothing to do with talent. That has to do with him progressing, and he's not. Chislo, thank you for the super chat. Brilly says DJ predetermines where he wants to go before the snap. Very bad habit. He's got to hold on. He's got to hold on to the ball. He's got to hold on to the ball. I think he meant he's got to stop holding on to the ball. Has to stop stuttering back and move out of the pocket. Yeah, he's doing a lot of he's doing a lot of things incorrectly, and that's why he's not progressing. That's what's tough. Yuri, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Really, my man says, why are the Giants not wanting to activate Benjamin Victor? Austin Mack got called up. Austin Mack is on the team. I don't know why they're not activating him. He says Eagles have every wide receiver in the roster that are from the practice squad. Yuri, at this point, I agree. I mean, if the Giants are, if everybody's saying we have no wide receivers, we have no wide receiver talent, nobody's getting open, then why wouldn't you take a shot at him? Why wouldn't you look at Benjamin Victor or Austin Mack? Why not? Or Derek Dillon. Derek Dillon's on the practice squad. Why not take a look at those guys? Why? What do you got to lose? You're 0-5. What do you got to lose? Nothing. You got nothing to lose. Not getting it done with the receivers on the field. Joe Judge has already said nobody's job is safe. You play for your job every week. Well, I mean, these guys aren't doing very well. So if he actually meant what he was saying about everybody's competing for their spot, it's time to make some changes. Maybe that includes Matt Parrott over at right tackle. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to make the adjustment. Maybe Matt Parrott comes in and plays left tackle and you move Andrew Thomas to right tackle. But we're 0-5. So it's time to start changing things around. You got to find something that works. I'm getting sick and tired of, well, we're competitive. Well, we played them tough. Well, we did good here. Well, the offense looked better. Well, the defense looked better. I'm sick of that. I want to win. I want to win. That's what I want. Giants stink. Yeah, they do. Jets suck. Giants stink. Both are true. 0-10. Both franchises combined 0-10. It's a shame. MetLife Stadium is garbage, and so are the teams that play in it. It's not terrible inside, but the design of MetLife Stadium is awful. The turf is terrible, too. Turf is killing people. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but that entire stadium and the team, it's all a disaster. Both owners are bad. Both GMs are bad. Both quarterbacks are bad. The turf is bad. The design is bad. My God. You know. It does, D-Block. It does. 200%. Yeah, guys, hit that thumbs up if you're new. You know, smash that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe if you're new. I thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Like I said, another therapy session. Just want to talk it over, get it off our chest. I have a feeling I'm going to be doing this on a lot of Monday nights. Regardless, I should probably do this anyway. Or something I'm looking to do on Sundays. On Sunday night or whenever it would be Sunday night. Monday night, obviously, I couldn't. Like the night games, I obviously couldn't do this. But I would like to do a post-game show with somebody. And I don't know. I've talked to Compizzo about that back in the day. I got to contact him, see if he wanted to do that. I would love to do a post-game show with somebody for like an hour or something, just talk about the game. Hernandez does stink. Yes. Thank you, Mahi Hussein. I appreciate that, man. Roldy, you got to talk about it, baby. We got to talk about it. No doubt about that. How many games do you think we'll win this year? At this point, J-Dog, maybe 2. Maybe we beat the Bengals in Washington. I mean, we're bad. I thought we could beat Dallas. We had a chance. We didn't do it. I felt like we could beat Philadelphia, but we just never find a way to win these games. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't. To me, I thought we lost some games because Pat Shurmur was a bad coach last year. I thought he made some boneheaded decisions that cost us games. I don't feel like Joe Judge is doing that. I just feel like the lack of execution and lack of talent is doing it this year. Pastor Ray, thank you for the super chat. Brilly says, if Alex Smith starts and is 80%, we won't win. The one thing I'll say about Washington, Pastor Ray, is no matter how bad we are, and no matter how good they are, we always beat them. We always beat them. Just like the Eagles always beat us. We always beat Washington. I don't know why. Even when I was a kid, when Washington was good, we always still beat them. 1986, Washington was 13-5 if you count the playoffs, and 3 of those losses were to us. So even back then, we're just in 2016, we had nothing to play for. We could not improve our seeding in the playoffs. Washington just had to win that game to get in the playoffs, and they lost. We beat them with nothing to play for. We still beat them. We just do really well. If winning means we lose out of Lawrence, I want 0-16. G. Kelsey, I mean, I'm not killing people for that. Some guys are going to be like, yo, how you want to tank already? How you want to tank this early in the season? Like I said, I won't do that. I won't root against them. But I completely understand people wanting to get the first pick and wanting Trevor Lawrence. I understand that. I'm not going to get mad at somebody for that. As I said before, just because you want to root for them to lose or want them to be 0-16 or 1-15 or whatever, and I don't, I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. Because I know the whole reason somebody wants the Giants to go 0-16 is not because they just want us to be bad. It's because they want us to get better, and they feel like going 0-16 will make us better. So like I said, I don't care what anybody thinks of my opinion. I don't give a damn what anybody thinks about me. Like, I could not care less. Like, it does not bother me. I come on here for a reason. If I actually cared what people thought about me, I would not be on YouTube. Because anybody can get behind a keyboard and type. I mean, anybody can be an anonymous, critique or critic. Anybody can do that. It takes no balls to get on a typewriter or to get on a keyboard and type some insult in a video. Man, tell them, oh, you're an idiot. You know what you're talking about. Like, it takes no balls to do that, right? It takes some balls to get out there and give your opinion. So if I actually cared about that, I wouldn't be doing this. But when somebody tells me I'm not a fan because I criticize the players, well, to me, that's just stupid. Because most of these people that are saying that haven't been alive as long as I've been rooting for the Giants. So, would I trade or sign Dak Prescott? Well, they're not trading him right now. They're not going to get anything. The guy just dislocated or compound fractured his ankle. I mean, he's not worth anything trade value-wise. I do think that Dallas will tag him again. I do think Dallas will tag him. That's what I think will happen. And like I said in the video last night, man, I wish Dak a speedy recovery. That was an awful injury. You hate to see that. It doesn't matter who it is. And some guys told me, he's like, well, nobody cared when Carson Wentz tore his ACL. I said, I felt terrible about that. I made a video about that. I felt bad that he tore his ACL. You don't want to see a player get seriously injured. Lorenzo Carter tearing his Achilles. I wasn't even watching the game. You know why? And a lot of you guys were in the same boat with me, because CBS would not get off the early game. And then CBS had 10 minutes of commercials before they went to the Giants game. So we missed it. So when Chris said he's grabbing at his ankle, I said, is it the front of his ankle or is it the back of his ankle? Because if it's the back of it, he probably tore his Achilles. I said that right there without even looking at it when they said they brought the card out. Without even looking at the injury, without even seeing what happened to him. And I still haven't seen what happened to him because, again, CBS did not put the game on until like 7 minutes ago in the first quarter. Mark, thank you for the super chat. Really says that's why last year's Chase Young game was a shame. And I'll tell you, Mark, it does, hindsight, that looks really bad. When Daniel Jones had that game, though, I was super excited. I'm not going to lie. Because to me, I felt like that was going to give this guy, I thought he turned a corner. I know Washington wasn't a good team last year, but I felt like he turned a corner. I felt like this guy's going to be really good. That was a game that made me think, oh, this guy's going to have a big year this year. I predicted him to go to the Pro Bowl this year. Boy, I couldn't have been more wrong about that. I thought very highly of Daniel Jones, which is why I'm very critical of him. But like I said, that game against Washington made me believe that Daniel Jones is going to be a very good quarterback this year. And it just hasn't worked out. He has not stepped up. Jared Goff stepped up his second year. Carson Wentz stepped up his second year. Dak Prescott kind of went back, but that's because Zeke was suspended for 6 games. So, I was wrong. I mean, I'm wrong a lot. I mean, it happens. Like I said, you actually give an opinion, you're going to be wrong sometimes. It is what it is. And like I said, if it actually bothered me about being wrong or somebody criticizing my opinion, I wouldn't be doing this. I would never go live. I would never do videos. I just don't care. Zach, thank you for the super chat. Really. He says, I saw the video from Talking Giants of the last drive There was no one open. I don't know what you mean. You mean the live stream when they went 3 and out? I don't know exactly what you're saying, Zach. If you're talking about, I think you're talking about the last drive when we went 3 and out. Well, the problem is we didn't try to run the ball. Should have tried to run the ball. Dallas didn't even need to use a damn timeout. No matter what happens there, you have to make Dallas use their timeouts. You can't allow Dallas to have a chance to win it in regulation. No matter what happens there, you have got to run. You have plenty of time to run. You have plenty of time to mix up the run and pass, just like Garrett had been doing all game. You have plenty of time. The whole playbook's open with just over 2 minutes to go and a timeout. Tons of time. You just got to get a field goal. You just got to get – and Graham Gano has been amazing. You just got to get to about the 38-yard line of Dallas. You got to go about 45 yards in just over 2 minutes with a timeout to get him to kick a 55-yard field goal, try to win the game. And if he misses it, you go to overtime. Worst case scenario. The play calling was bad on that. Not blaming Daniel Jones for that. Play calling was bad on that last drive. Play calling was bad on that last drive. Chislo, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Really. Why do other teams' wide receivers always get open, but ours somehow can't? It's because Jones is scared to throw the ball quicker and waits too long. Hope he steps up. This is a great point. He has not been on time. Last year, Chislo, he was very good at tight window throws. He threw with much more confidence. He's not confident, and you can see it. He plays scared. And it's a great point. That's a great point, Chislo, because you're right. He's late. And when you're late, you're going to have interceptions. You're going to have the ball knocked away. Because in the NFL, it's not college. It's very rare, unless there's a blown coverage, that you have a wide open receiver. In the NFL, it is the quarterback's job to throw the receiver open. We hear that all the time. You have to throw the receiver open. Well, he doesn't do that. That's a problem. That's a great point, Chislo. He's late on his delivery. He's a first read quarterback. He stares down the receiver. This is stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the receiver's talent. It has to do with Daniel Jones's talent. This is why I'm getting on his case so much. Because, yeah, we're not a good team, but Daniel Jones is not getting better. He's not making better decisions. He's not going through his progressions. There's a lot of things he's still not doing that he should be doing at this point in his career. Pastor Ray, thank you for this. Appreciate it so much, guys. Thank you, my man. Brilly says, why is Mara so obsessed with the past? You don't need to play 1980s football to win a Super Bowl. You can win a Super Bowl with a high-flying offense and a rocket quarterback. Exactly, which is why the Cardinals went after Kyler Murray, even though they had traded up to get Josh Rosen the year before. That's why. That is why they did that. We need sunshine, KJ. I agree. If we're picking first, he'll be here. And honestly, the Jets and Giants both picked 1 and 2. You could see 2 new quarterbacks in New York next year. It's a fact. They picked Sam Darnold 3 years ago. We picked Daniel Jones 2 years ago. You could see 2 new quarterbacks in MetLife Stadium in 2021. It is definitely a possibility. With the Jets, it's a definite. Even if they're picking second, they would be taking a quarterback. Pastor Ray, again, man, thanks so much for the super chat. Appreciate it so much, brother. Really, my man. He says, people love to say, oh, Daniel Jones doesn't have receivers. Look how Patrick Mahomes changed that Kansas City team. The quarterback makes the receivers better. I agree. To a point, a quarterback does make his receivers better. Look at Tom Brady. That's all I ever need to say. Wes Welker never had 1,000 yards in any season when he didn't play with New England, but I think every year except for one when he was in New England, he had 1,000 yards receiving. And remember, he went to Denver and played with Peyton Manning. So it's not like he didn't have a good quarterback in Denver. But Tom Brady made his receivers better. It certainly helps. I'll be honest with you. I think Eli Manning made Odell Beckham better. Odell Beckham wanted to blame Eli Manning for not beginning. Now, Odell Beckham's had a couple good games. The Cleveland Browns are starting to play better because they're able to run the ball now. And that certainly helps. But Odell Beckham was terrible there last year. And I still think Odell Beckham was better with the Giants than he is with the Browns. And I think that's because of Eli Manning. I'm dead ass serious. I think Eli Manning made Odell Beckham better, and I think Odell Beckham made Eli Manning better. I think they helped each other out. We don't have that with Daniel Jones. Last year, I thought that he and Slayton had that. I thought he and Slayton had that chemistry. I thought he and Caden Smith had that chemistry. This is why I got excited about Daniel Jones. I'm like, man, look at the chemistry he has with Slayton. They both played really well together. They complemented one another. And I thought he did the same thing with Caden Smith the last 4 games of the year. We have not seen it this year at all. So, I don't know. I don't know. Chislo, thank you for the super chat again, brother. Really says, good news, Bradbury's ranked as the second best cornerback. Dave Gettleman did a good job in the free agency this year. Fackrell has been good. Martinez, yes, they've made some mistakes, but they've also made big impacts. And James Bradbury's made the biggest impact. Our secondary hasn't been awful considering all the guys that left or held out or got arrested. Certainly not bad. So Bradbury was a great sign. I thought the Giants did a really good job in free agency. It wasn't the big splash names that some people wanted, but I thought we did good in free agency this year. I think Gettleman did a good job. Normally, Gettleman was doing a poor job with that, but I think he did get it right this year. One of the few things that he has done right, one of the few things that has worked out. Instead of your NFC East roundtables, which would be the NFC's, I know, Brock. I have to, now that the Lakers are done, I'm going to do a couple Dodger games. I know a lot of guys want me to do the Dodgers. But now that the Lakers are done and I don't have that commitment to do every single Dodger game, or every single Laker game, I'm going to have the entire week free now outside of the Talking Giants show. So I am going to start doing more collabs. I have one planned on Thursday with Ed Oliver. I'll be on his channel talking about the Washington-New York game. So I do plan on working with other video makers now. Again, that'll have like every night of the week free. So that'll be good. Jimmy, man, thank you for the super chat, brother. Really, I really appreciate it, my man. He says, we should have drafted Josh Allen. He's a beast, the new best quarterback in that division. I want him on the Giants so bad, but it'll never happen. The new best quarterback in that division. I don't know who that is. I don't know if you're talking about Trevor Lawrence. I don't know who you mean, Jimmy. But Josh Allen was the right pick, yes. I back DJ and will continue to do so, but for the first time, I'm questioning his ability to win games. He has cost us 2 games Eli would have won. Yes, Steven. I mean, we definitely can't compare him to Eli. I mean, that's not fair, but I get what you're saying. He's had opportunities to win us games or to at least tie the game. We've had chances at the end of 3 of these games, and he's failed every time. So, yes, you should start questioning it. At this point, we're 5 games into this season. There's really no more excuses. That, it's a new playbook. It's new coaching. We have no receivers. It's this. The 5 weeks into the season, there should be no more, he doesn't get the playbook. Meant Josh Allen. Gotcha. Josh Allen for Buffalo. I see what you're saying. I gotcha. Josh Allen's been pretty good. I'm not sold on Josh Allen. I know he's played well this year. I'm still not sold on him. I'm just not. He's got to prove he can win a big game. I'm not sold on Josh Allen. He's better than I thought he'd be. I'll give him that. But I'm not sold on him yet. Win that division, I'll be sold on you. King Reyes, thank you for the super chat. Really, what can you see our record actually being? I said it 2-14, 3-13, somewhere in there. I think we can beat Washington once. I think we can beat I think that we can beat Cincinnati. Maybe. We have a brutal schedule, so I don't see a lot of wins in this schedule anywhere. Jimmy, thank you so much for the super chat. You didn't have to super chat again, my man. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it, though, brother. Really says, yes, Josh Allen, the Bills quarterback. I got it. Yeah, I got it. I misunderstood what you're saying. It's hard when there's 2 Josh Allens, and the one that I wanted was pass rusher that was available. Should the Giants trade Jordan? Well, no one's trading. The Baltimore Ravens would never do that trade. They would never do that. Thoughts on the Steelers this year? Way better than I thought they'd be. I thought they'd be like a 9-win team. They're way better than I thought they would be. Much better than I thought they would be. Big Ben's played well. They're a lot better team than I thought they would be. Tampa winning what? Tampa Bucks? Tampa Rays? We're actually favored this game against a football team. That doesn't surprise me. We should beat them. Doesn't mean we will, but we should beat them. Todd Contino, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate it. Can you do a Monday Night Football watch along? No, because I decided I wasn't going to do any primetime football games this year unless it was Giants. I'm not doing any other football games outside of the Giants until the playoffs. It's just not my thing. I'd rather just do a hangout and be able to talk to you guys than do the Monday Night Football stuff. I don't want to call a game. Joey Shakes, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for the super chat, Brilly. If you guys haven't subscribed to that man right there, Joey Shakes is a great Eagles content creator. Go over there and check out that channel, especially Eagle fans that may not know who he is that are in the chat. But I think he does a really good job over there. He also does some podcasts. He does live streams, does videos. And, of course, he works with other content creators. So definitely give that channel a look, sub him up. He does a great job. He says, hey, bud, going to come down to the division. Wentz has never had a number one target his whole career. Fulgham looked good in 2 games. Another example of a guy without wide receiver talent. Last year, Carson Wentz did not have one wide receiver on that team have over 500 yards receiving. The guy threw for 4,000 yards and had a terrible offensive line. So I'm done with the excuses about Daniel Jones not having talent. Other quarterbacks can succeed without wide receiver talent. So I'm done. I mean, I'm not making excuses. Daniel Jones has to show me he can play. Right now, like I said, every week I lose more faith in the guy. I say it's Trevor Lawrence and keep Daniel Jones, give him another chance in 2021. If DJ's not good, DJ's not good. Well, that's what they would do. I don't think Trevor Lawrence would come. Well, you never know. I mean, the Giants could trade Daniel Jones because I don't think this is the thing with that Blue City. If the Giants did take Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones knows he's not the future of this team. Daniel Jones is only going to be 24 years old next year. Do you really think Daniel Jones would just want to hold a spot for Trevor Lawrence? I mean, how motivated do you think Daniel Jones would be to play knowing that he's only 24 years old and he's already lost his job here? That would be the only issue I have with that. I think that they'd be better off trading him, like I said, maybe to New England. Like, I believe that Bill Belichick can make Daniel Jones into a star. Some coaches have that ability. Bill Belichick is one of the few. But I think Cam Newton is a stopgap. I don't know how much they believe in Jarrett Stidham, but maybe the Patriots say, hey, we'll give you a third and a 7th round pick for Daniel Jones. And they do it. I don't think they'd keep Daniel Jones if they drafted Trevor Lawrence. I think they'd have to move him. I just don't think Daniel Jones would want to be a backup. I don't think that he would want to just hold a seat warm for Trevor Lawrence. Daniel Jones on the Steelers? Absolutely. I think that he would. I don't think they'd be 4-0 with Daniel Jones. I think they'd probably be 2-2, but he'd be better on the Steelers. Or they 5-0. The Steelers are 5-0, right? Right? They didn't have a bye. They 5-0. Whatever they are, I don't think they'd be undefeated. But they wouldn't be winless either. They wouldn't be winless. One problem I have, people think we draft Trevor Lawrence, we suddenly become amazing. That's not true. No, the Giants aren't going to go from what they are now to 12-4 because of Trevor Lawrence. But what would happen is it would kickstart the rebuild a lot quicker. Because Trevor Lawrence is better. Listen, anybody that's being honest with themselves and watches Trevor Lawrence play and watches Daniel Jones play, you're only fooling yourself, or you don't know anything about football if you actually think that Daniel Jones has more skill than Trevor Lawrence. Ask Uncle Lou, okay? Uncle Lou's a college football guru. Ask him. He'll tell you the Giants would be foolish to not take Trevor Lawrence if he was there. Anybody would tell you that. Trevor Lawrence is a way better quarterback than Daniel Jones. It's not close. It's not close. So, no, Trevor Lawrence may not be great. The Giants may not be, like I said, 12-4. But their future would be a lot brighter because Trevor Lawrence is the type of quarterback that can carry your team and make the team around. The quarterback, listen, like I said, when you're a 6th overall pick, if Daniel Jones was picked in the 2nd round, this isn't as big of a deal. It's the fact that he was picked 6th overall. And when you're picked 6th overall, you are supposed to make the people around you better. That is the quarterback's job. Make everybody around you better. It's not everybody else's job to make you better. You're the quarterback. You got picked 6th overall. Why is it everybody else's job to make him better? He has to make other people better. He's the quarterback. He's the quarterback. You know? Do you pray for Dak and Jones to Houston for Deshaun Watson's backup? Huh? He's not going to... He would never be. Dak will never be a backup. Dak is going to go someplace to start. Giants will pick number 1. They'll screw it up like they would Chase Young, let him pick a 2 or 3. Well, if they pick 2, they can always trade back. Eli made his receivers better without question. Again, Sheila, I think that Eli had a lot to do with Odell Beckham being as good as he was and vice versa. I think they helped each other out, which is what they're supposed to do. But I agree with you. I think Eli made his receivers better. I do. You missed my point. 10 years of bad drafting is our problem. Oh, it is. No, it is. It is. 10 years of bad drafting is our problem. Well, not quite 10 years, but it's 8. Yeah. We've had really bad drafts. I agree, Steven. The drafting has been horrible. And even when it's been good, like Saquon Barkley looked like can't miss. And then he got hurt. That's bad luck. Andrew Thomas is the safest pick in the draft. As far as tackle goes, he's been terrible. Daniel Jones is a reach, and I don't put that on Gettleman. I don't think that was Gettleman's pick. I really don't. I don't think Barkley was Gettleman's pick, but the rest of the picks were bad. I mean, DeAndre Baker, who knew he was going to get arrested? We traded up to get Dexter Lawrence. Was he worth trading up? Or I'm sorry, was he worth Odell Beckham? Was DeAndre Baker obviously wasn't worth the picks we gave up to get him. BJ Hill's a bust. RJ McIntosh can't get on the field. Zemenis is hurt. Carter's hurt. Not that they were great anyway. Who is Dave Gettleman drafted that's made a really big impact for the New York Giants outside of Saquon Barkley? I guess Darius Slayton did last year. But, I mean, bad drafting, yes. But Trevor Lawrence can change bad drafting because that's where you start drafting well. Jimmy, thank you for the super chat. Really says Trevor's going to be good because of long hair. That helps. It's like Samson. Brother Simon says, you're the man. Well, Trucker Tim, tell Simon, how can I be the man when you're the man, Simon? Simon says the man, too. Simon actually called me the day after that storm hit to make sure that me and my family were okay. So I always raise a glass to Simon. Congratulate Simon on his Lakers winning the championship last night. When Dak got hurt, I didn't want to win. I still wanted to win. I felt bad for Dak, but that ain't going to make me root for Dallas. I mean, you think when Saquon Barkley tore his ACL that Bears fans were like, oh, man, that sucks. I hope the Giants win. Hell no. That doesn't change anything. That's a shame, but I'm rooting for my team. We sold our souls for those 2 wins. No, we didn't sell anything for that. Ernie Accorsi drafted very well and set that team up for success. And Jerry Reese, his first couple years as a Giants GM, did a very good job. He drafted impact players. He drafted Akeem Nicks. He drafted Mario Manningham. Not that Manningham was great, but he was impactful. He drafted JPP. He got Ahmad Bradshaw, in the 7th round. He did a good job with a lot of those picks. He drafted Steve Smith. Steve Smith was hurt a lot, but Steve Smith was a huge part of us winning a championship in 2007. So, I can see my jersey number 16. That's Frank Gifford. New York Giants fan, thank you so much for the super chat. Really. I really appreciate that, my man. He says, do you think we should replace Andrew Thomas with a new left tackle? There's a few studs in free agency. We should target like EDP, actually FEDP. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like EDP's video. As I said about EDP's video about Dak Prescott, that's EDP, guys. I don't know what people expect from EDP. EDP is a shock value video maker. That is what he does. I don't agree with his take whatsoever. I thought that it was, classless, distasteful, whatever you want to call it, but that's EDP. EDP don't give a damn. EDP is successful as hell because he's EDP. There is only one EDP. There's a lot of people that try to imitate him, but there's only one. The guy's got, 2.2 million subscribers? He's doing something right, whatever it is. I don't agree with him there, but that's him. I don't know what people didn't expect that from EDP. I don't know. What's going on, Stone? Appreciate you being here. Mr. Awesome Man, Maverick, what's going on? Billy Costigan, Eric Garrison, what's going on, guys? You have the Chargers by 8. I picked the Chargers to win tonight. I need the Dodgers to win. I have a parlay going. I need the Dodgers to win this game. Pastor Ray, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, my man. He says, got a buddy who's an old scout for the Steelers. He said John Mara was scouting Daniel Jones for years and loved him because he reminded him of Eli. And Pastor Ray, you didn't need to send 2 super chats, man. You could have just put it in the comment section. But I really appreciate it, man. Really, I really appreciate it. He said Shermer wanted Herbert this year and Jones was his backup, but Mara overruled everyone in the end. That's pretty sad. What's going on, man? Pastor Ray, I don't know if you watched the video that I just did about ownership. I just did that about an hour before I got on here, maybe 2 hours. But I actually just made a video about how bad ownership has been. And I mentioned that I think that they had a big part in drafting Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. I would take on Dak injury. Does it not highlight or not having you? Does it? Oh, well, you know what, though? Steven, I'm going to say this. That's a freak injury, right? That's Dak Prescott has run for years. That's just a freak accident. If a quarterback has the ability to run, and this is becoming a running quarterback league, guys. You know, this started probably with, Randall Cunningham is way ahead of his time. Randall Cunningham is way ahead of his time as a quarterback. But Rodgers was able to scramble. Steve Young was a big scrambler. Kyler Murray's a runner. Okay? Lamar Jackson's a runner. This is what the league has become. It's become mobile quarterbacks that can use their feet as well as their arm. So I don't think you can ever tell a quarterback, don't use your legs. I don't think you want your quarterback getting exposed to all those hits by taking off on a consistent basis, Steven. But I do believe that if it's part of his game and he can get a first down on 3rd and 6, he needs to take it. It's just a freak injury. That's all it was. It was a freak injury. It was unfortunate. It was a freak injury. Michael R., thank you for the super chat. Brilliant, my man. The Jets get Trevor Lawrence. What could we trade for Fields? Probably a ton. If we have the number 2 pick, we're probably getting a boatload of picks in return. I think that's what we would have to do. Cam, yes, Cam is another one. Good call, Weagle. Yes, Cam Newton is another one. Cam was probably the first to really be a runner first, and then, Cunningham was probably that way. Michael Vick was that way too. And Cam, yep, Cam's a good one. Good call. Michael Vick, yep, there's Michael Vick. Yep, same thing, guys. Yep, good call. Andrew Thomas is going to be great. I hope he is. Fran Tarkenton was like the first scrambler, a real scrambler. Fran the scrambling man. You know, so he was probably the first one to be more. You know, he was a passer though. He led the league. He had the overall yardage total forever, most touchdowns for a long time for Marino, I think. The foot. You don't need to thank me, man. Thank you for being here. Who would buy the team they try to sell? Oh, God, I have no idea who would be a good owner. I have no idea. I just know that Mara is not a good owner. Roldy, thank you for the super chat. Really, I really appreciate it, brother. He says, Tristan Wirfs, Jedrick Wills, and Becton all doing well. Guess what? All of them didn't have OTAs preseason and learn a new offense. Wills struggled, I guess, in the beginning, and now he's hurt. Or he was hurt. He got benched. But Wills wasn't great. Becton was doing very well until he got hurt. Wirfs has been solid. The thing about Becton was this. Becton had the highest ceiling of any of them. I was scared of his inconsistency. I didn't want Becton. I'll freely admit that. I wanted the 2 worst. I said I wanted Jedrick Wills or Andrew Thomas because I thought those were the safest picks in the draft. They've ended up being the worst. This is why I'm not a GM. But I'm not alone here. You all know I wanted Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons is a train wreck too. So who was the right pick at number 4? Right? I guess Mekhi Becton, if you go back and look at it, I guess that's what they should have done. But again, that would have been a risk. And I felt like Andrew Thomas was the safest guy. I thought that guy would be a staple here. He's so good at Georgia. Just not good here. I don't know. I don't know what it is. He's been bad. When the Dolphins didn't just beat the Niners, trucker Jim, they killed them. If Daniel Jones has a very, very strong second half and the Giants trade the top 3 pick for 2 or 3, yes, absolutely, Cheese Whiz. If we're not getting Trevor, let me just put it this way. If we don't pick number 1 overall, I don't want a quarterback. I don't want Fields. I don't know enough about Trey Lance. Trade back, get Penei Sewell, get extra picks. The only quarterback that I'm willing to dump Daniel Jones for in this draft is Trevor Lawrence. I don't want anybody else. So if we're picking second, trade back, get a ton of picks. I don't want Fields. Fields is bad. There's a reason that Georgia let that guy walk away. There's a reason Georgia didn't have him there. Uncle Lou hated Jake Fromm. He hates he hates his quarterbacks. And he talks about Fields all the time, but I don't know how good Fields would have been at Georgia. It's a completely different offensive scheme. And how much of the quarterback problems at Georgia have to do with Kirby Smart or the actual quarterbacks themselves? I think Uncle Lou actually did a video on that, if I'm not mistaken. Justina, what's going on, my lady? Thank you for joining the stream. What about Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan's going to be there. Well, they can take Trevor Lawrence, too. Giants should have taken a lineman in 2018, not Barkley. If the Giants would have taken a lineman in 2018 at number 2, everybody would have thrown a fit, Alex. Everybody would have thrown a fit if they had done that. There's not a doubt in my mind. Nobody would have been happy with that. And like I said, in 2018, when Barkley had the rookie season, nobody was complaining about Saquon Barkley in 2018. Nobody. Hindsight's always 2020. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. So it did not matter. To 2018, everybody loves Saquon Barkley. It has just been unfortunate that he's been injured. And I mentioned this before. I think Eli Manning had a lot to do with Saquon Barkley's success. I think Eli Manning had a lot to do with it. Because Eli Manning understood how to read a defense pre-snap. He understood how to change blocking schemes and audible at the line of scrimmage. He understood how to reverse plays and get Saquon Barkley the best opportunity to run the ball. Even in 2018, Saquon Barkley still had a lot of negative carries. But I feel like Eli Manning's ability to change the play at the line of scrimmage and give Barkley better opportunity to find an open space in the field helped him. Because even in 2019, the first 2 games of the year, Saquon had over 100 yards on the ground, right? Tampa Bay, before he had the high ankle sprain, he did nothing. He did nothing with Daniel Jones there. Saquon Barkley had like 2 good games with Daniel Jones at quarterback. That's it. They're always against Washington because everybody has a good game against Washington. Uncle Lou would definitely know who Carson Wentz is. Who do I think will be the next GM? I have no idea. No idea. A lot of people like the people from the Colts and the Patriots, and I forgot their names. I can't remember their names for the life of me. One was an Italian name, and I don't remember what the hell his name was. Bring back Ernie Accorsi. Ernie Accorsi was a big reason we won those Super Bowls. Want the next GM to will be inside house. I don't want the new GM to blow us holding up. See, Crispy, I don't want Kevin Abrams. What the Giants have done is not working. You have to change everything. You have to go outside the box. This is not working. You can't have a GM come in here with the same philosophy that ownership is making the moves for. You can't have that. As I said in the video I made about ownership, the ownership has got to allow a new GM to come in here and make all the decisions. And they have to trust the GM's decisions. If that means getting rid of Daniel Jones, Nick Caserio, thank you, Stinky Ape. Yes, Nick Caserio is a guy a lot of people are talking about. Thank you, Stinky Ape. Johnny Gonzalez, no. Me, the GM, no. I'd fail. I like a lot of things Dave Gettleman did. He's been awful, so I would fail. I would fail at that. I'm not. That's why I'm on here and not in the front office. That's why. I may be able to get a guy's face and motivate them and yell at them pretty good, but I'm no evaluator of talent. There's a lot more that goes into it than just watching. That's why I always say, you get my reaction, my opinion on what I see. And everybody sees things differently. Because I can tell you this, people on YouTube that think they're experts, people on YouTube that think they know more than other people, they're full of themselves. Because if they actually did know this stuff, they wouldn't be on YouTube. Let's face it. They wouldn't be doing the same thing I'm doing if they actually knew all about talent and how to evaluate it. They'd be scouting someplace. They'd be maybe not of an NFL team, a college team, a D3 team someplace. They wouldn't be making YouTube videos if they actually knew how to evaluate talent. So that always makes me laugh when some people think they know more than everybody else and they're doing the same thing I'm doing. And I've never claimed to be an expert. I've always told people, you get my opinion. I'm a fan. You get a fan's opinion, which is the reason I think a lot of people do like what I do, because they feel the same way, because I'm voicing a lot of their opinions that they're the same as me. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan that talks about the Giants. That's all I am. Jimmy, thank you for the super chat. Brilliant, man. He says, I heard Dak might not be able to play football again, but if he did, I'd take him. Well, I think Dak will be okay. Obviously, it's a serious injury. It derailed Theismann. It's very ironic that the day Alex Smith came back from that awful leg injury. Now, his is more serious than Dak's, but it is ironic that the day Alex Smith comes back from his compound fracture, Dak Prescott gets a compound fracture. You don't see that very often. That is a freak injury in the NFL. That does not happen a lot, where you have compound fractures with bones coming out of the skin. The biggest problem with that is when bones come out of the skin and it's exposed, man, there's a lot of bacteria, there's a lot of garbage on a football field, and they can get infected. That's why Alex Smith, not just his leg, he was in jeopardy of his life because it got infected. So, that's why that's dangerous. New York Giants, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Brilly says, Mara's still living in the Stone Age. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. They got to get out of that. It's 2020, man. Crimson, you're the man. Thank you for the super chat. Brilly. He says, no one our luck. Mara will hire Bill O'Brien as our GM. God almighty, please don't say that, Crimson. Please don't say that. Please don't say that, man. If Carlos says, if Tom Coughlin was still here in that personnel, don't you think his team would be amazing? I think that they got rid of Coughlin. Like I said, they should have either kept Coughlin if they kept Reese, or they should have got rid of them both. I don't think that they should have fired Coughlin and kept Reese. I'll always say that. Trucker Tim says, hit that thumbs up. It's free. Yeah, guys, again, if you're new, man, please subscribe, ring the bell. I'll be doing a lot more of these hangouts because the Lakers are done. Baseball is almost over. Obviously, I stream the Giants every week, and I do a Talking Giants show with the Entertainer Talking Sports. And I'll be working with a lot more content creators. I try to do a video almost every day. I've been doing 2 videos a day. When I have time, I can do 2 videos a day. Most of the time, it'll just be something I do at lunch. And but I try to put out as much content as I can. So I hope you guys will like and subscribe. And, of course, I appreciate you hanging out with me for this Monday evening therapy session after the Giants lose again and drop to 0-5. Pastor Ray, thank you for the super chat. Brilly. He says, Herbert just threw a 65-yard bomb, and DJ can never shake my head. Well, I'm going to tell you this about Herbert. He threw like a 50-yard pass when his arm got hit. His arm got hit as he threw it, and it still went 50 yards. And I said this, the first touchdown pass he threw tonight, Pastor Ray, the first touchdown pass Herbert threw to Keenan Allen, Daniel Jones could have never made that throw. Not in a million years. He doesn't have the arm strength to make that throw rolling over to the sideline, throwing back across his body and throwing a dart into the end zone from 25 yards out. He doesn't have that. You just said all that about Barkley, but Eli, but I think Freeman has looked good since coming in. Yeah, I mean, Freeman is a guy that runs downhill, and I think that helps, Steve. He runs downhill. He doesn't dance around behind the line of scrimmage. I also think the Giants' run blocking has gotten better, and, Dallas is weak anyway. Dallas is not a good run defense, and Cleveland ran the ball for like 300 yards against them with their third, fourth string running back. So, and again, Washington, the Giants should do well against them too. Let me open this other beer here. I need a nipple for these things. I'm drinking them slow as hell. Trade Saquon for 2 firsts. They're not gonna get anything for Saquon. That won't happen, especially coming off a torn ACL. Nobody even knows what Saquon's going to be. And guess what? This is Saquon's 3rd year, so he's got one more year in his rookie contract. Next year is Saquon's last year in his rookie contract. Giants can pick up the 5th-year option if they choose, but his contract's up after next year. He has no trade value. None. Falcons would take Fields. They definitely could. Bring back Steve Spagnuolo. I think Patrick Graham's done a great job with this defense. I don't think Spagnuolo would make any difference. I think that Patrick Graham has done a good job with the defense, especially what he's had to work with, losing all the guys in the secondary and now losing Zemenis and Carter. There's been a lot of injuries and a lot of weird things that have happened. I think Graham's done a good job. I think his defense is actually way ahead of where I thought they would be. Thoughts on Ray Handley? Yeah, that was a long time ago. And that should have been Bill Belichick. Unfortunately, Bill Parcells had a heart attack too late. And if he didn't have a heart attack so late, Bill Belichick would have been our head coach. The Ray Handley days were dark days. But to be fair to Ray Handley, he inherited a very old team. And the Giants were a very old team, and there was a lot of injuries. So as bad as those days were, I don't know how much you can blame Ray Handley. He kind of got thrown into it. And once they brought in Dan Reeves, you could see they were still pretty decent They did get to the divisional round and got crushed by the Niners that year, but Hanley inherited an old team. They had a lot of beat up. I don't think he was the right guy for the job. They were kind of forced to. Their hand was forced to make a move because Parcells retired in May or whatever the hell that happened. I can't totally get on Ray Handley for that. And now looking at what the Giants have become, the Ray Handley days actually weren't that bad. Chislo, thank you for the super chat, brother. Really, really, I appreciate it so much from him. Really, really. If Jones gets rid of his fear, he'll be much better. Listen, I said that, talking Giants. I said I wish Joe Judge would tell him go out like Bill Parcells told Sims in 86. Take some chances. I don't care if you throw 4 interceptions. Let it go. Take some chances. Just go out and play. What's going on, Word? What's going on, Lord Commander Manny? Dave Brown was from Duke, yes. And he wore number 17. Go figure. Go figure. Let's trade DJ to New Orleans and get Kamara. Yeah, that's not happening. Authentic, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Zoss TV says more likes. Yes, hit that thumbs up, guys. That's free. So always going to hit the thumbs up button. So hit that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe if you're new. Hey, what the hell? Thank you for being here Monday night. Like I said, I'll be doing a lot more of these hangouts and working with other content creators. So I hope you guys will subscribe. And I'm trying to do as much Giant content as I can. So, I hope you guys will like and subscribe. And again, I appreciate you being here. And the Braves just went up 2-1. It looks like I'm going to lose my parlay because the Dodgers can't get it together. Dodgers look like they're going to choke again. Dodger fans ain't going to be happy. The Dodgers can't beat the Braves in the NLCS. Dave Roberts is getting fired. I have no doubt in my mind Dave Roberts will be fired if the Dodgers can't win this game. Tom Cobb for GM, that's not happening. I think Jones is scared because he's scared of getting bashed by the media. Well, he's going to get bashed if he don't win. He's going to get bashed if he continues. He's got 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He's the worst rated quarterback in the league, or one of them. He's got nothing to lose. Daniel Jones has nothing to lose. He's turned the ball over 17 out of 18 career games. Daniel Jones has nothing to lose. This team is 0-5. He's been awful. He can't get worse. They can't get worse. He's got nothing to lose. He needs to just go out there and play. He plays to not make mistakes. When you do that, you're going to make a ton of mistakes. Maybe I always feel like he tries to do too much. I feel like he puts too much pressure on himself. It's not good. Trade Daniel Jones to Jacksonville for Josh. You're not getting anything for Daniel Jones. Like I said, if the Giants drafted Lawrence, maybe they could move him to the Patriots for like a 3rd or 7th rounder. That's probably as much as you're getting for him, if that much. Mr. Mini Guy, man, thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really. He says, I can never be an NFL player because I would be arrested for aggravated assault on a referee. Braves just broke the tie. Let's go Braves. Yeah, I saw that. I just said they just hit a home run. I can't think of a free agent quarterback right now, Damian. Teddy Bridgewater was the guy that I wanted back in, going into 2019. I thought the Giants should take a shot at Teddy Bridgewater because I felt like Bridgewater would be a stopgap quarterback until we could draft one. That was kind of my thing. When, like I said, I think it might have been the first or the second episode of Talking Giants to Chris. I talked about how the Giants should bring in Teddy Bridgewater and then draft Justin Herbert. Because I felt like Teddy Bridgewater would be a stopgap, then you could put Justin Herbert in there. I was a big fan of Justin Herbert. Like I said this 2 years ago. And I'm not right about a lot of things. I was right about the trade of Odell Beckham to Cleveland. I was right about the Giants being bad for 5 years after they hired Ben McAdoo. I was right about Eli Apple being absolutely terrible. I was right about the Giants trading Odell Beckham even after we traded Olivier Vernon. I said, don't be surprised if Odell Beckham's next. I said that right in a bit. Don't be surprised if he's next. 2 days later, he was gone. So I am right about some things. I'm wrong about some things. I'm human. That's what's going to happen. I'll be right again. I'll be wrong again. Taysom Hill is better than Drew Brees? No. Clemson's an insane football team each week, but Clemson is very good. Clemson is very, very good. The game I'm looking forward to is Alabama, Georgia. That's going to be a damn good one. That is going to be a damn good one. Herbert made history. Listen, I told you guys I'm a big fan of Justin Herbert. So Eli Apple's still not good. He's not good. Ask Saints fans. Saints fans hate him. They're telling us to take him back. We should get Arch Manning. Everybody wants that. Alabama by 14. I think Georgia's going to win. I think Georgia's going to win the national championship this year. I really do. I think this year Alabama's defense is not good this year. I mean, did Mississippi put up 48 on them? They lose like 63-48. Alabama beat them 63-48. Alabama's defense is no good this year. They're not a typical Alabama team. Georgia's defense is the best in the country. Defense wins. And Georgia does enough to get by. Will Haskins ever be the best quarterback in the East? No. I'll be surprised if Haskins is even in that division next year. There's another one. If Washington ends up picking first overall, Trevor Lawrence is going there. Dwayne Haskins is not their future. Cam Newton's a free agent in 2021. Definitely don't want Cam Newton. Cam Newton is old. Cam Newton is past his prime. Cam Newton is going to be another guy that needs great coaching or need great talent around him. I would never want Cam Newton after 2021. Imagine if Daniel Jones goes off on Washington, and that's the game that turns Giant season around. He could. He went off on Washington both games last year. What's going on, Steve? How you doing, man? Thank you for joining the stream. What's going on, Weagle? Or Eagle, he says. I'm guessing that's the Auburn. Cleanser, yes, that would be a great one. If Al Robinson goes into free agency, we go get him. Maybe. You know, Georgia's going to kill Bama. I don't know if they're going to kill him, but I think they're going to beat him. They are underdogs. I will bet on Georgia. Georgia always wins me money, man. Georgia and Ohio State always win me money in college football all the time. And I bet the over in Oklahoma. Any Oklahoma game, I bet the over. And 90% of the time, I win. You guys want to? You're going to lose somebody. If you want to make money in the college football season, every game bet the over in an Oklahoma game. You're going to win 90% of the time. Chris Devers, thank you for the super chat, brother. Really, man, I really appreciate that. He says, I feel like I lost my best friend. I haven't missed a snap from Dak. You know, he's my quarterback. You are nothing but class, bud. Hashtag We Them Boys. Hashtag Star Lounge. Hashtag Dak. Chris Devers, great video maker, great dude. I've known him for a long time. And I understand, man. I felt the same way when we lost Saquon Barkley. You know, it knocks it out of you. I mean, we ended up losing that game. And even when you do end up winning a game where you lose your quarterback, you still feel sick to your stomach. I can remember, I believe it was I could be wrong. I think it was 1992. Lawrence Taylor ruptured his Achilles tendon and was out for a year. I felt sick to my stomach. I know that feeling. As a football fan for 37 years in the New York Giants and seeing my share of guys get hurt, like when Victor Cruz tore his ACL in Philly, you know, your heart sinks. Feel sick to your stomach. I know the feeling, man. It sucks. So, like I said, that video was heartfelt. If you were in the stream, I don't know if you were when Chris and I were doing the game. I legitimately had tears in my eyes for the guy. I really felt bad, you know, just because people tear their ACLs and that's awful. But you know, that is something a lot of guys come back from. A compound fracture is it is so gruesome, and it is very dangerous. Like I said, it ended Joe Theismann. Alex Smith is unbelievable that he was able to come back from that, and I hope Dak is able to play next year 100%. I'm rooting for him. You know, I don't care who he plays for. I'm rooting for him to come back. Just like it was great for me to see Alex Smith. I even put that in my community notes. I said I obviously don't like Washington, but is it wrong that I'm rooting for Alex Smith because of what he went through? So I'll root for Dak the same way. 79 Steve, welcome back to the Dog Pound, brother. Brilly. 79 Steve. Welcome back to the Dog Pound, baby. Where are my Dog Pound members? Welcome 79 Steve back to the Dog Pound. Let's go. Look at the Braves. Oh, they're getting excited. Look at them. Yeah, no politics, guys. No politics. This is sports stream, man. McAdoo bench Eli. Yeah, it was. That ultimately got him fired. Yeah, I mean either one. I want to see what McKinney can do. I want to see what he can do. Who would win, the Giants or Clemson? I think the Giants would become. I think the Giants could beat Clemson. Justin, or not Justin. Trevor Lawrence have a good day against the Giants, though. Maybe. What should the Giants Bad Dog, should the Giants restart the rebuild? As I said in the video about ownership, it's hard to rebuild and you can't even get the foundation right. Right? We can't rebuild because we can't even build the damn foundation. If you're building a house and you can't build the foundation right, how the hell are you going to build a house? House is only as strong as its foundation. So how the hell are you going to build a house? We can't get the foundation right. We can't even build. The rebuild ain't working because we can't build a foundation. We have nothing to go on right now. As I said in the video, who the hell's the leader of this team? Who the hell's the guy that you look at right now and go, that's the guy we're building this team around? Graham Gano? Who is the guy? We don't have one guy on this team, at least in my opinion, that I can look at and go, we're building the team around him. That includes Saquon Barkley. That includes Daniel Jones. That includes Dexter Lawrence. I don't see one guy in this Giants team that I go, that's who we're building this team around. Not one. So we do not even have a foundation. So restart the rebuild. I don't even know if this rebuild has gotten started, but to answer your question, yes, there has to be something completely different. Adam, man, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Brilliant, man. I really appreciate it. This is McAdoo's presser to announce benching Eli. Ownership and I are on the same page, starting to think that decision came from above. Bad Dog, you were ready to move on, but yeah, ownership. It's funny, Adam. Obviously, ownership must have been on the same page, because if not, they would have, they would have put a hex on that and told him no. But at the end of the day, as I said in that video, I feel like they gave Eli Manning that 2-year contract because they didn't do anything to stop him getting benched. And they felt that they owed that to him. That's why I made the video saying 2017 was what started this entire debacle. We have been terrible since 2017, and that's because they held on to Eli too long. That's a fact. I love Eli Manning to death. They held on to him 2 years too long, and that stunted us. That stunted our growth. That stunted our rebuild. That stunted everything. You have a 37-year-old quarterback with no talent, and you drafted a running back. Stunted. Should have had Pat Mahomes that year. Ben McAdoo wanted Patrick Mahomes. Ben McAdoo, he's going to get a bad rap. Players did not like him. He lost the locker room. He ended Eli's streak. We were 3-13 with him here. People hated him. I understand it. Fact of the matter is, Ben McAdoo knew what he was talking about. Ben McAdoo was a damn good offensive coordinator. His 2 years as offensive coordinator, Eli Manning had the 2 best statistical years of his career. Ben McAdoo, when he was let go, talked about the New York Giants and all the things wrong with the franchise, and he nailed every single one of them. He was right about everyone. I remember doing a video. I don't know if it's still on my page. I don't remember if I still have that or not. But I talked about how Ben McAdoo, I don't think it is there anymore, but I talked about how Ben McAdoo was right in everything he said. Outside of and he's right about this too, but at the time I said, he's wrong about Nate Solder. We needed Nate Solder. Nate Solder was a good signing. He said Nate Solder was very overrated and they overpaid him. And he was absolutely right about that too. Ben McAdoo was right. He just wasn't a good head coach. Some guys aren't meant to be head coaches. Some guys are meant to be coordinators. Pat Shurmur is one of those guys, But yeah, I think Ben McAdoo knew what he wanted. And I think he saw the talent of Pat Mahomes and he wanted him. And ownership of Jerry Reese said, no, not taking him. Keeping Eli. That's why we're in the situation we're in. The Giants would have just got rid of Eli Manning 2 years ago. I'm sorry, 2007, at the end of 2017, and they would have drafted that quarterback, even if it was Deshaun Watson, things would have been different. But they didn't. Storm and Norman, thank you for the super chat. Brilly. I really appreciate it. Says, you the man, Bad Dog. How can I be the man? You the man. He says, keep up the awesome job. Be safe. My man, what's going on over there in Cardinal land? The Cardinals are doing well. Cardinals are doing well, man. 3-2. Good stuff. Eli, with a decent team, wins another Super Bowl after 2012. They would have been better. I don't know if they would have won a Super Bowl. He would have been fine. But the fact of the matter is, they weren't a good team. They were not a good team in 2017. They were not a good team in 2018. They were not a good team in 2019. So there was no reason to keep them here. There was no reason to keep them here after 2017. And they were not a good team in 2016. Let's be honest. They weren't good in 2016. They won close games against really bad teams and could not score. You know? If you could build around any quarterback all time, who would you choose and why? Oh, it's tough. If I could build around any quarterback, Tom Brady. I mean, Brady's the man. It'd be Tom Brady. I mean, the guy played in 9 Super Bowls and only played with like 2 Hall of Famers his entire career. It's got to be Brady. The Braves are pouring it on here in the 9th. Scored 4 runs in the 9th. Ozzie Albies with a 200 shot. Dave Roberts going to get his ass fired if the Dodgers don't win this. I'm going to change that over to the football game now. Elway's a good one. Marino's a great one. But I got to go Brady. I can't even imagine. Like I say it all the time, they put Randy Moss on that team. He had 50 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. They went 16-0. The only time in his career he had a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Now, Wes Welker may end up being a Hall of Fame wide receiver. That's because of Tom Brady. Wes Welker would not have been a Hall of Famer had it not been for Tom Brady. Same thing with Danny Amendola. He was nothing on the Rams. All these receivers came to the Patriots and became great because of Tom Brady. They were not great anywhere else. That's what I talk about when a quarterback can make his receivers better. Wow, the Chargers were whooping that ass. Why did they defer? I don't know. Maybe they feel like they can keep New Orleans out of the end zone. This is going to be a good kickoff return, though. The 34. Well, Chargers covered. I mean, I bet the Chargers, they were getting 7.5, so they covered. So that's a good thing. And I also had the over 24 at the half, so I actually won that part. Small parlay. I think it was $20 to win 52, so nothing huge. Who do I think is the most overrated quarterback of all time? I think Aaron Rodgers is right at the top of that list. That dude only won 1 Super Bowl. People talk about him like he's God. Aaron Rodgers, as great as he is also overrated. Brady had Antonio Brown. Oh, for like a second. He had him for like a second. What's going on, Zeke fan? Get him and get fired by. I don't know when Gettleman's going to get fired. It's a good question. I'm not sure. Brett Favre's overrated. Yeah, I can see that. Yo, Simon, there he is, man. What's up, brother? Brilly. Congratulations on your Lakers winning the title. As I said, it was an honor. As I said last night after they won it, it was an honor to be a part of that run. Because I was a part of that run. I was there all year with that team, as you well know, as most of you well know. I was with that team from beginning to end this year. So I was happy for Laker fans. And like I said, a huge shout out to you for checking up on me and the fam after we had that huge storm hit here. So I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, sir. Joe Namath is overrated. Very overrated, Sheila. Great call. Yes, Joe Namath is very, very overrated. Very overrated. Wants to be a Hall of Famer? No. He will not be Hall of Famer. Looked like he was going to be. He will not be. Bad Dog's underrated. He needs to get more subscribers. Yes, Johnny, I agree. What's my official verdict on Andrew Thomas so far? Terrible. So far, he's terrible. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. He may be great. I hope he turns into being a great left tackle. Right now, he don't look like he is. I'm not calling him a bust. He's played 5 games, but he hasn't been good in those 5 games. Has a lot to work on. He's got a lot of improvement he needs to make. What's going on, Jordan? He says, now that you have the rest of the year to take all your frustrations out on New York teams, and not that you – yes, I do now. That's what I was saying, Jordan. Like I told you guys last night in the Lakers stream, I'm not going to be doing the Lakers until January, but I'll still be live. I'll be doing Hangouts. I'll be doing Giants games. I'll be doing videos. Like, I'll still be around. Just we won't have the Lakers for 3 months. So those 3 months will go by fast. Before you know it, we'll be doing Lakers Clippers opening day, and we'll be back with the boom shakalakas and with the kiss and all that other stuff. I can tell you this, my voice is going to get a nice rest. Because, man, I'll tell you what, that takes a toll on you calling the game like that, man. Phil Simms is mediocre. He was. For the better part of his career, he was mediocre. But the game was much different back in 1986 than it is in 2020. Quarterback statistics, like when people compare Daniel Jones to Phil Simms, it makes no sense. Phil Simms played in the 80s. The game is not close to, not close to what it was 40 years ago. I mean, come on. Even if you compare Daniel Jones to Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning played in 1998. The game was way different. It is a pass-happy, offensive league. Everything is set up for the quarterback to succeed. Everything. Everything is set up for the quarterback to be great. Back in the day, if your quarterback rating was 85 in 1986, you were one of the better quarterbacks in the league. You were a Pro Bowl quarterback. If your rating is 85 now, you are below average. I appreciate that, Jordan. Thank you, sir. Do some Ranger streams, Brainy. Listen, I'll watch the Rangers this year, but I ain't doing no Ranger streams. I can't call a hockey game. I tried. I can't do it. You want a hockey stream, you watch Hot Take Hockey. He's fantastic. I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't know the players well enough. I don't know all the terms. I don't know how to call a hockey game. I tried. I suck. I cannot do that. I can call the other three just fine. That I can't. I cannot call that. Mustard Bus, what's going on? They are doing work. I actually turned the game off and went to the overtime football game because they are they're killing them in the ninth inning. It's crazy how this team's in 0-5. Yes, 0-5. They were 0-5 in 2013, 2017, and 2020. What's going on, Chris? Yes, Rays did take the lead. No, I would not be able to do it. Like I tried. I can't call a hockey game. Not good at it. Now, what I would like to do someday is go on Hot Take Hockey's channel and stream a game with him if he's doing the Rangers, where I'll just kind of react and talk about what happened. But I would let him do the play-by-play. Same thing with Isles Girl. Like when the Rangers play the Islanders, I'd love to go on her channel and just sit there and talk about the game. She could call a play-by-play. They're both very good at it. Her dad just did the tomahawk chop. I should. I am from New York, Sheila. I am a New Yorker. Do you think people will be traded by the deadline? Evan, I don't know. I mean, if we're trading, we're selling, and I don't know what the Giants are going to do. I don't know if they gave Evan Ingram a fifth-year option so that he's better trade bait because he's now under contract for another year. That's why they signed Odell Beckham so they could trade him. I don't care what people believe. Gettleman lied. Gettleman said that on purpose. But the Giants had much more leverage that Odell Beckham was locked up for 5 years as opposed to him walking the next year. Who the hell is going to want to pay for a wide receiver that can go anywhere he chooses to go when he's on a contract for 5 years? The team getting him knows they have him for that long. So maybe they did that. Evan Ingram, there's only a couple of guys that we could see being traded. Like I said, Evan Ingram's one. Calvin Tomlinson, perhaps. Leonard Williams. Maybe Jabril Peppers. I don't know. We don't have a lot of value for anybody because our team sucks. We don't have a lot of talent. So I don't know what we're getting. Sims had something DJ doesn't have. Sims makes a mistake. The Big Blue Wrecking Crew comes out. Well, yeah, I mean, that's true, Steven. I mean, the defense was ridiculous back then. It was absolutely ridiculous. And again, it was back in the day, the games were not 38-31. Games were 16-13. They were 21-17. They were low-scoring games. Teams ran the ball. Your quarterbacks like Marino and Elway, there wasn't a ton of them out there. There wasn't a lot of those guys. Like I said, you're better. Phil Simms was a Pro Bowl quarterback a lot of his career. Tommy Kramer. I mean, Tommy Kramer wasn't a great quarterback, but the dude was in the Pro Bowl. Danny White, he was in the Pro Bowl. A lot of those guys were. I'm trying to think. Steve Berline may have been a freaking Pro Bowl quarterback back in the day. It's just a different game. He's a turnover man. Yeah, because he stares down Evan Ingram too much. How Wentz's career turned out? No idea. I don't know. I honestly don't. Sims was tough. He was tough. Well, he was injured a lot. Eli was tough. Do I work from home? No, I work for the state of New York. I go to work every day. I work from 7 to 4 every day. Is golf go? No. I know can't block. No, we can't. That's why it was a bad pick. He just disappears and can't catch it. Yeah, it was a bad pick, Afghanistan. It's a bad pick. Giants aren't getting Carson Wentz. Do you see how Haskins is bragging because he threw 300 yards? Yeah, Haskins can brag all he wants. He's sitting on the bench right now. What's going on, Cowboys Digital? It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers won 1 Super Bowl. That's it. 1. Giants need to draft Jamar Chase. Possibility. It's definitely a possibility. Wonderful. That's what he was in '86, Chill Daddy. I wish we had Herbert. Listen, Goat. I know. I was like I said, but one of the first talk. It was either the first or the second talking Giants. I mentioned that I want the Giants to draft Justin Herbert. I want them to go out and sign Teddy Bridgewater. That was what I wanted. Daniel Jones never entered my mind at that point. Daniel Jones and the Giants did not enter my mind until I blew a gasket when they drafted him. Never saw it coming. Thought it was just BS. Thought they were BSing the whole time. They weren't. You know. New York fans are like spoiled brats. I think Boston fans are spoiled brats too. There's no doubt about that. Boston fans are the same way. Boston fans are spoiled brats. There's not a doubt in my mind. Especially Red Sox fans. Red Sox are the biggest bandwagon I've ever seen in my life. And as a guy that lives on the Massachusetts border, I can speak to that. They are the biggest bandwagon I've ever seen. Patriots have won a ton. I don't see any influx of Patriots fans here. I rarely ever run into a Patriots fan. I am 20 minutes away from Massachusetts. I never see Patriots fans. Once in a great while, I run into one. There were no Red Sox fans to be found in 2002 around here. None. Zero. Zilch. You saw one every once in a while. After 2004, they were everywhere. Everywhere. That is a huge bandwagon. Enormous bandwagon. Very spoiled. Boston's very spoiled. They've won a lot of championships in the last 20 years. So we're both the same. New Yorkers are spoiled. I've seen 10 championships. I got spoiled with the Yankees. Not going to lie. Got spoiled. With the Yankees. Happens. Wait till the Patriots are bad. Wait till that happens. Wait till the Patriots fall off the table. Wait till Bill Belichick retires. And they have no quarterback. And they have no direction. And they're 4-12. We'll see. We'll see what happens at that point. Thoughts on EDP's comments about Dak? I mentioned this earlier, Cowboys Digital. I don't agree with anything he said about it, but that's EDP. EDP is a shock value video maker. Everything EDP does is for shock value. People love that. That is why EDP is as successful as he is. That's why he has 2,200,000 subscribers. Because people can't wait to see what he says. Whether they agree or disagree. Whether they like it or don't like it. He's a lot like Howard Stern. He's the Howard Stern of YouTube. That's really what I say about EDP. That's what he is. People watch EDP for shock value. That's a shock value video. I don't know why anybody would expect anything less of him. I feel like if you're subscribed to EDP, you expect that from him. I don't agree with it. I thought it was distasteful, but again, I'm subscribed to EDP for that reason. So, I don't agree with him, but I understand why he did it. That's just him. No, Diva, I am a spoiled fan. I freely admit that. I am spoiled. The Yankees spoiled me. I have seen them win 5 World Series. I have seen them play in 7 World Series. Okay? I saw them make the playoffs. I don't know how many times since 1995. What, 23 times? I saw them win the division 13 years in a row. They spoiled me. When I was growing up in the 80s, I didn't expect them to win a World Series every year. They were bad. I just wanted them to be good. Then I got spoiled. It happens. It happens when your teams are good. You get spoiled. And then when things turn around and they're bad, you get pissed. And that's going to happen to the Patriots. It happens to every team. It's going to happen to New England. It's happening to the Red Sox now. They're bad. And they're going to be bad. Storm and Norm, thank you for the super chat. Really, would you rather be the owner of the Giants or Yankees? Yankees, no doubt in my mind. Yankees are probably, I think they're the second most valuable franchise outside of the Cowboys. Definitely. And the Yankees are my favorite team. I mean, they are my favorite team of all time. I love the Yankees. It's a nostalgia thing. I love baseball. It's my favorite sport. I love the Yankees. There's just something about baseball. I've loved it since I was a kid. Sugar Tits, thank you for the super sticker, brother. I appreciate it, my man. Brilly, brother. Little fist bump. Fist bump. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. The Braves won 5-1, right? Texas Rangers, yeah, they're not good. I do not watch Barstool Sports, no. Crazy how Mattingly retired was when the Yankees. Yeah, it's bad luck for Mattingly, and I love Mattingly. 94, we had a really good chance. Strike end of the season. 94, we had the best record in the AL. Montreal had the best record in the NL. Montreal never recovered and ended up moving to Washington. I never got the fan base back after that strike. 94, we had a good chance. 95 was one of the most heartbreaking losses I've ever witnessed as a fan of any of my teams. It's one of the few times that I've ever cried over a loss. I bawled my eyes out after we lost Game 5 to Seattle. I wanted Mattingly to win so bad, and he was so good in that series, and they lost. They were up 2-0, and they lost. It was a great series. I mean, it's one of the better playoff series you'll ever see. That one hurt. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Same thing can be said about Bobby Mercer. Bobby Mercer was a Yankee great for years. They traded him in 1976 for Bobby Bonds. And Mercer left. And when he left, the Yankees went to the World Series 76 and then won it in 77 and 78. He wasn't a part of it. He came back in 79, didn't make it back to a World Series until 1981. I don't even think he was there in 81. I think he left again in 81. So Bobby Mercer also had that bad luck. More comes to Sam because Dak, I understand. I mean, when you lose one of your best players, you're going to be sad. Will A-Rod ever be a coach? I think he'd be a great coach, Mike. I don't know if he will be, but I think he'd be a great coach. I am old. I am definitely up there in age. No doubt about it. But the funny thing is, even though I'm old, I'm still probably in better shape than a lot of guys half my age. Without a doubt in my mind. But not without a doubt in my mind. I know I am. I mean, I know I'm in better shape than probably everybody that makes fun of my age. Like, I guarantee you, people that make fun of my age could never go in the gym and do my workout. They would die. They could never run as far as me, as fast as me. Guaranteed, they couldn't. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. So that's the funny thing about my age. It don't matter how old I am. It's how old you feel. And I obviously don't feel old because I can still do a lot of crap. I mean, my genetics are ridiculous. I mean, hell, Philly 500 put me on one of his videos. Somebody said right in that bit, somebody said in that video, Bad Dog looks like he should be a freaking CrossFit champion for guys over 40. So I don't care. I am old, but only from the neck up. David, thank you for the super chat. Really, man. I appreciate that. He says, it's too early to start thinking about trading players for draft assets. Who would you be willing to move at this point? David, I've answered this a couple of times. We don't really have a lot of people, I think, that we can move for any kind of trade value, right? Evan Ingram is the first guy that comes to mind. Maybe Jabril Peppers, maybe Dalvin Tomlinson or Leonard Williams. We don't have anybody good. I think Evan Ingram gives us our best return. I think maybe the Giants gave his fifth-year option for that. But I just don't know. It's definitely not too early because the trade deadline's coming up soon. So I don't know. But if we're going to trade, we're going to be sellers. That is for sure. Did you hear CC rip Aaron Boone horrible? Good. Good, Dan. He should. He should. Michael Kay did it too. Aaron Boone's a terrible manager. I've said that for years. The Yankees win in spite of him. You know, I always tell you I wouldn't be a good GM, and I wouldn't be a good GM, not in football. I know I can manage the Yankees win 100 games. I know I could. Anybody in this chat could manage the Yankees win 100 games in that lineup. It's how you manage in the postseason that matters in New York. Anybody, and again, that goes back to being spoiled New Yorkers, and that's true. You are judged on what you do in the postseason, not the regular season. Ask A-Rod. A-Rod got killed for years, won 2 MVPs here in 05 and 07, did crappy in the playoffs. Everybody got on his case. Everybody said he choked. Everybody said everything else. You know, he's no good. He's a choker. He's a bum. Then 2009, he carried us to a World Series title, but not clutch. Aaron Judge, that's him. Aaron Judge has struck out 51 times out of 131 at-bats in the playoffs. He's a career 229 hitter. He was 4 for 30 this year with 10 Ks. I don't want Aaron Judge in this team. I don't want to sign him to a long-term deal. Let Aaron Judge walk. Aaron Judge is going to be 29 or 30 years old next year. He's hurt all the time. He's an all-or-nothing player. It was a cute story when he hit 52 home runs, but he's worn out his welcome as far as I'm concerned. Sonny Ann, thank you for the super chat. Brilly says, how about Mattingly back as manager? Hey, Boone, I would love Mattingly as our manager. I was upset when we didn't take Mattingly as our manager. I would love Donnie Baseball. That was my guy. That was my guy. I love Don Mattingly. L.A. King James. Look at that. There it is. How you doing now? Brilly, man. Thank you for the super chat. L.A. King James. He donated $420. 420 donation. 420 crew, you know what to do. Smoke them because you got them. Just got a $4.20 donation. Smoke them, we got them. 420 crew. Shout out to my Bills for holding down New York. The Bills are good. Bills are a good team. I actually picked them to win the AFC East this year, so not surprising. They are very, very good. Aaron Boone is garbage. Who wants to play off an 0-5 team? Well, I mean, somebody could use Evan Ingram, Gary. I mean, Evan Ingram is a very talented tight end. I honestly think Evan Ingram would be a very good piece for somebody with some talent. I think Evan Ingram would be an amazing talent for a team that could use a tight end. You put Evan Ingram on the Rams. Tyler Higbee's a good tight end. Put Evan Ingram over there. That Rams offense would be amazing. Give him to the Packers. Trade Evan Ingram to the Packers. He'd be great with the Packers. Team him up with Aaron Rodgers. He'd be great. He would be great. Doesn't matter your record. You know, it matters the talent. Sometimes, I mean, we were 3-13 in 2017, right? The Browns still traded for Odell Beckham. As bad as we were, they traded for Odell Beckham. Why? Because Odell Beckham's talented. Just like Evan Ingram. We're a bad team. That doesn't mean Evan Ingram's not talented. Evan Ingram would be good on another team. I guarantee you, Evan Ingram will get traded to a good team, and he will blow it up wherever he goes. He'll be great. He'll have 7 touchdowns. He'll kill it. He'll have a couple 100-yard games. All Giants fans will be like, why did we trade him? He don't fit here. We wasted Evan Ingram. We shouldn't have drafted Evan Ingram. We were not in the position to take Evan Ingram when we did. We were not in that position. Kind of like we weren't in the position to take Saquon Barkley. But we did. Evan Ingram's very talented. He will succeed somewhere else, just not with the Giants. Gus Cafoo, thank you for the super chat. Brilly, man, I appreciate you. Says, how about them Atlanta Braves, baby? F the Dodgers. Hey, congratulations. Oh, you're a Giants fan, San Francisco Giants fan. I get it, Gus. You gotta love that. And hey, Gus, how about our Sooners in a thriller and 4 overtimes beating them Shorthorns? How about that, Gus? How about the Boomer Sooner, baby? How about that? How about this? Yeah, there you go. Guys, no politics, please. No politics. I don't give a damn who you vote for. Just don't put it in this stream. Politics are in different streams, man. Holu's mom, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it, brother. Brilly, my good man. He says, well, he doesn't say anything. He just comment just says, yo, bad dog, I like what you, man. Take an Abraham Lincoln. Appreciate that. Yankees are good. Your Angels suck. Angels do suck. I feel bad for Mike Trout. Pastor Ray, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Brilly, my man. He says, I'm like you, man. I respect everyone else's opinion What I don't like is when people tell me I'm not a fan if I don't like DJ. It's something exactly. People tell me I'm not a fan because I criticize the players. No, I am a fan because I don't accept losing. Like somebody told me, like I have this idiot troll, not going to give him any shine. I'm not going to mention his name, but there's been a number of times he tells me I'm not a fan. He told me about the Yankees too. He says, if you're just going to criticize them and all you expect them to do is win, then you're not a fan. Well, I didn't even, respond to him because he's an idiot. But when a guy tells me if you expect them to win all the time, then stop rooting for him. I want to say, well, if you accept losing all the time, then you're not a fan. Why don't you stop rooting for him? I mean, I can do it that way too. But the fact of the matter is, if some people want to root for a team and accept losing, I don't have a problem with that. I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to tell you you're not a fan because you accept losing and make excuses. You just root for them differently than I do. That's all. It's no better. It's no worse. It's just different. It's just different. Storm and Norman, thank you for the super chat, my man. Brilly, brother. I really appreciate that. Who's your favorite pitcher of all time? Got to be Mariano Rivera. I love Mo. Mo is my man. But, I mean, Greg Maddux, Randy Johnson, loved watching those guys pitch. I mean, going back before my time, a huge fan of Sandy Koufax. Loved Sandy Koufax. He was fantastic. Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan, big Nolan Ryan fan. Loved the Ryan Express. Well, those are probably some of my favorite pitchers. Roy Halladay, big fan of Roy Halladay. Another guy I really love watching pitch. There's a lot of good pitchers back in the day. Gus, man, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, brother. Really, my man says, what a great game that was. Go Sooners, baby. Hell yes. Hell yeah, my man. Pastor Ray, thank you for the super chat. Really. Herbert's going to be a superstar in this league. Herbert's good. Herbert is good. Somebody just said to me, you are a clown, so annoying. Then why are you here? Think about that for a minute. Think about what that guy said. That guy came into this live stream to tell me I'm annoying. If somebody is annoying to me, why am I wasting my time with them? Why would I give that person an ounce of my energy or attention if they're annoying? There's no reason for it, except for they have nothing better to do with themselves. So to you, sir, have a great life. I hope things get better for you. Because obviously you're mad at your life. You're not mad at me. Plain and simple. You're mad at yourself. You ain't mad at me, son. Mustard Bust, what's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Brilly. And I know I ain't ugly. I mean, it's always funny when a guy comes on here and tells me I'm ugly when they're too afraid to show their face. I know I'm not ugly. I look damn freaking good, and I know I do. So it's all good, baby. You can say that all you want. I know how good I look. I have got no problem showing my face anywhere. Anybody that's scared to show their face obviously don't believe that they're good looking. Mustard Boss Brilly says, we're really hoping the Saints would drop that one. I don't know how they came back. The Saints were losing 20-3 when I tuned into that. So it is what it is. Takeem, I appreciate that. I'm going to be annoying to some people. That's fine. I ain't trying to impress anybody. I ain't trying to be everybody's friend. My point is, if I'm annoying, why are you coming in here? Stupid as hell. It's just so stupid. It's such a wasted time and energy. It's so dumb. Do something productive with your life. Seriously. Why am I a Sooners fan? Adrian Peterson. Plain and simple. Adrian Peterson. Can't wait for the game on Sunday. Pedro, yeah. Another battle of the dumpster fires. Pedro. Battle of the dumpster fires. For sure. I think Chris Carter's a trade. Chris Carter ain't a good-looking guy. He ain't. I really am Blue City. I am damn sexy. We all know that. That's all good. I know this might sound crazy to say Joe Torre won 4 rings, but I think Girardi's the best manager we've had out of the last 2 managers. It's not crazy, Dan. I've always said that Don Zimmer was the brains behind all of those World Series because after Don Zimmer left in 2003, we didn't make another one. We did not make another one with Joe Torre. So I can agree with you. that Girardi was the best manager we've had in the last 3. I can agree with you. I think Joe Torre was a very good manager of people, but not the best baseball mind. Because remember, he failed everywhere he'd been. He failed in St. Louis. He failed with Atlanta. He came to New York. He had Don Zimmer, and I think Don Zimmer had a lot to do with those championships. Joe Torre is very good about being a player guy and keeping the players in check and managing the egos and everything else. Zimmer was the brains behind the whole operation. So I agree with you. I think Girardi was the best manager. I think he was a better overall manager than Joe Torre, although he did drive me crazy with his binders. Sometimes he mismanaged the bullpen, but then again, Joe Torre destroyed our bullpen. He destroyed Tom Gordon's arm. He destroyed Tanyon Sturtz's arm. He destroyed poor Scott Proctor, that poor guy. He probably walking around. He probably can't even use his arm after Joe Torre killed him. So I agree. Do I watch your Native Tree once in a while? I do, yes. He's pretty funny. What's going on, Sean G? Thank you for joining the stream. Eagles fans in the chat. There's always Eagle fans here. There's Cowboy fans here. There's Washington football fans here. And I love that. I love that, even though I'm a Giants fan, that I get a ton of Eagles and Cowboys and Washington football team supporters here. Some of my best supporters are from their teams. So I really appreciate that. It just goes to show you we're all sports fans at the end of the day. You know, there's a lot of respect between us. We hate each other's teams. That don't mean we hate each other. You know, Gus, you the man. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Really appreciate it. He says, Bad Luck, I just want to say that I love all that you do, and I love your opinions. Much love from Cali, bro. Gus, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much, man. Like I said, man, I appreciate that. Some people are going to love my opinion. Some people aren't. And that's fine. I don't care. Because as I've said before, I'd much rather be hated for who I am than liked for who I'm not. But as I said, if you don't like me, why are you wasting your time? Like, I just don't understand that. I don't understand that. I don't know. Then again, I've always been a mover in life. Like, I'm always reaching. I'm always trying to achieve more. I don't like to settle. You know, you settle, but you get bored if you settle. I don't like that. So I just don't understand that. There's people I don't like on YouTube, so I don't waste my time with them. I don't understand why somebody would do that. Nigel Freak says, Joe Girardi was a terrible manager, in my opinion. He did. I mean, he did micromanage stuff, but I do think Nigel Freak, I really do think in 2017, Joe Girardi did a really good job of managing. I do. I think that 2017, he did his best job. It's a shame that he got fired. I definitely think he's better than Aaron Boone. I definitely think he's better than Aaron Boone. And again, I don't think Torre was an awful manager, but I do think Don Zimmer had a lot to do with the Yankee success. And again, the Yankees back in those days with Joe Torre, not only did they have such a great team of prospects and draft picks and everything else that they had, they spent a fortune. Like George Steinbrenner bought every high-priced free agent out there. You know, Hal doesn't do that. He spent money on Tanaka. He spent money on Ellsbury, which was terrible. That was a really bad move. He spent money on actually, I think George might have been here in Ellsbury wasn't here in 2009. But you know, he went out and he got Gio Urshela, and they got Luke Voigt. They spent money on Garrett Cole, but they didn't spend money like George Steinbrenner did. Takeem, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. He says, fun facts, bad. He says, Bad Dog is a retired Chippendales dancer. He's a 3-time top performer from 1999 and 2002. He even taught dance classes in Paramus, New Jersey. Paramus, New Jersey, sorry. Thank you for the super chat, Takeem. I wish I could take credit for that, but I can't. I can't. I'm actually in better shape now than I was when I was 23. And those are facts. I was in good shape when I was 23, not the shape I'm in now. My diet wasn't nearly as good. Obviously, as you get older, you have to be more regimented in things you do, because at 44, you're not the same as you were at 23. Nobody is. Yeah, the Ellsbury move is one of the worst contracts ever. No doubt about that. Duty Dodds, I just want to know why you're such a fake fan and let them rebuild and you're an ugly clown. Yeah, okay. And now you went and made another account. Whatever. Yep, you're right. I'm a fake fan. You're right. I'm a fake fan. I'm an ugly clown. You're right. I am. I'm all that stuff. Thoughts on Wentz? I don't really know what to think of Wentz. I honestly don't. I don't know what to think of Wentz. I don't. I thought Wentz was going to be I thought Wentz was the best quarterback in this league. I thought Wentz was, or not in this league, this division. I thought Wentz would be a top 5 to 7 quarterback in the league, and he's just regressed. I think a lot of that had to do with losing Frank Reich. I think Frank Reich was very good for Carson Wentz, and I just don't think the offense is set up to work to his skill set. It doesn't help that he has no wide receivers. It doesn't help that he doesn't have an offensive line. But I just don't think, and obviously after an ACL tear, things change. I still think Carson Wentz would be great, but I think Carson Wentz back in the day before the ACL tear, before Frank Reich, didn't need a ton of talent to be a great quarterback. Now I think he does need more talent. That's all. Are we going to be Washington? We got a chance. We got a chance. I don't even, Arian, I don't care. Trolls are hilarious. I mean, if you're going to be a troll, though, be creative, But how can I be the man? Be the man, Arian. Like I said, I'm going to have haters. It means I'm doing something right, baby. You reach enough people, people are going to hate you. You're not reaching enough people, everybody's going to like you. It is what it is. Comes with the territory. Comes with the territory. Comes with the territory. G-Man, thank you for the super chat. Really, I really appreciate this. Why do Giants fans love to say Trevor can't elevate this team? How do they know this? I've watched every game he plays in. He's a real deal, man. I think that's because those Giants fans just believe in Daniel Jones, and I think that they believe if they go quarterback that they're starting over, and I don't think Giants fans want to start over. But I agree with you. You can't say that Trevor is going to do the same thing as Daniel Jones. You can't say that. We don't know that. And as I've said earlier in this stream, if you watch Trevor Lawrence and you watch Daniel Jones, anybody that thinks Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence is fooling themselves. It's a fact. Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. The skill set's way better. Everybody knows that. It is what it is. Gus Cafu, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. He says, just one stream, just one San Francisco Giants game next year. Oh, Gus, I did I'll do a Giants like a Giants Dodgers game next year. We'll have a full season next year. Hopefully it starts on time. But yeah, I will I'll definitely do like a Dodgers Giants game. I think that'd be fun, like kind of like Yankees Red Sox. What I think of the Giambi signing? I loved the Giambi signing way back. And you know why I loved it? Because Jason Giambi was a guy who 2 years in a row in Oakland hit 333 and 342 with a ton of power. And Oakland was a very difficult park to hit home runs in. It wasn't even Giambi's power. It was him hitting 333 and 342 that I was like, oh my God, this guy is going to be awesome. And he got to Yankee Stadium. And what happens to a lot of left-handers when they get to Yankee Stadium, they stop going to the opposite field, which is where Giambi was at his best. They start trying to yank everything into the short porch. It screws up their swing. That happened to Mark Teixeira too. It messes up a lot of good left-handed hitters' swings because they try to hit home runs. I think that happened to Giambi. But I was very excited when we got Jason Giambi. Very excited when we put him in the lineup. What do I think about Jason Garrett? Too early to tell, Eric. I think a lot of people thought his play calling was vanilla the first 4 games. Can't say that. He opened up the bag of tricks. I thought the Giants' offense was very creative. I had a Cowboys fan tell me that's as creative as he's ever seen Jason Garrett in the 9 years that he was at Dallas. So, yeah, Giambi was on the juice. A lot of people were on the juice back in the day, Takeem, definitely. Oh, Chill Daddy, of course they do. That's all good, though, man. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. That does not bother me. Like I said, people that dislike me, that's their problem. That ain't my problem. They don't know me. They don't know anything about me. The thing is, they're going to go to sleep thinking about me. And I'm going to go to sleep about thinking what I got to do at work tomorrow and go to the grocery store and thinking about hanging out with my kid and everything else. I'm thinking about my next stream. I'm thinking about my next video. Like, I'm thinking about doing productive things. I love Dave Winfield. I loved him. For rookie and being his first Monday Night Primetime, Herbert looks like the truth. He did without his top receiver, Keenan Allen, for most of the game. Listen, I loved Herbert. I loved him in Oregon. I wanted the Giants to draft Herbert. He just didn't come out that year. He didn't come out. He would have came out his junior year. I think there was a good chance the Giants would have taken him. 79 Steve, thank you for the super chat. Really says Josh Allen. Please, Josh Allen. Yeah, I wanted Josh Allen. I was definitely – when he fell to the Giants, I could not believe our luck. I wanted Josh Allen before the draft even started. Didn't think in a million years he's fallen to us. Didn't think in a million years. I wanted him or Devin White. I knew Devin White was going to the Bucks. Didn't think in a million years he'd fall there. And didn't think in a million years he would draft Daniel Jones 6th. A-Cloud, what's good, my man? Thank you for joining the stream. Cresslow says, is it just me or UGA fans are toxic? I don't know. I know a lot of UGA fans. The only UGA fans I really know are the ones that go on Uncle Lou's streams. Uncle Lou is a trash talker. But listen. Uncle Lou is he's a trash talker, but if you actually watch Uncle Lou when he's not just talking trash, he's actually very knowledgeable and he knows a lot about football, about college football, and what he actually does, like when he's not joking around, he's very informative and he gives teams credit all they want. So I don't know if you're talking about him. I don't know a lot of Georgia fans. I know Uncle Lou. That's really it. And I know the people in this chat. I don't see them as toxic, so I don't know. I don't live down south. College football is a way of life in the Southeast. In the Northeast, it's not. Northeast, baseball is a way of life. Football is a way of life. Hockey, not a big deal. College football, not a big. There's no really good college football teams in the Northeast. There's not. Syracuse is garbage. Boston College is garbage. Those are like your best schools, and they're no good. So, do I think we should sell high and Voit? Maybe get another starter. I love Voit, man. I don't know. But that is a possibility, Dan. I don't think they'll get rid of Voit. I think they like Voit. I like Voit. I like Voit. What Voit said after the. I like what Voit said after playoffs when he said, "I got to do a better job," and he did. He didn't do a good job, and he admitted it. And I like that. I like guys that could take accountability. I live in Alabama and Auburn. I live in Alabama and Auburn versus Alabama. So do like that. Yeah, I like that's what I'm saying, Eagle. It's that's a way of life down there. Sign Lindor. A lot of guys like Lindor. We could also get Didi Gregorius back. He's a free agent, right? Philly only signed him to a 1-year deal. So if the Yankees wanted to add Didi back and get a left-handed bat in here, that could happen. Do I think the Giants will go 1-16? I don't. I think we'll beat Washington one game, and I think we'll beat Cincinnati. But we could. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I don't think it will, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I think we need Vic DiPotato as a Giants suit. Yeah. Well, I love Vic. County. I love Vic. Vic is hilarious. Vic is an actor. Vic is an actor. Vic's skits, and that's what they are. They are skits. They are written skits. They're written. So, it's a skit. His rants are not from the heart. Like when I go off the handle, that's from the heart. I'm not scripting anything. I'm just spitting out anger. But he's funny. I'll give him that. When someone calls you ugly, that's how you know they're a low. I just don't even know how that's an insult. I don't even listen. I'm 44 years old. I'm married, right? I have 2 kids. I don't really give a damn what anybody thinks of my appearance. It's not important to me. I care about what my wife thinks of my appearance. My wife obviously likes my appearance. She wouldn't have been with me for 20 plus years. It's the only person I care about who thinks about the way I look. That's it. Anybody else, go scratch where the sun don't shine. Storm and Norm, thank you for the super chat. Really. MJ 1990s, Kobe 2000s, LeBron 2010s. Who's the best player in the 2020s? Luka Doncic. Storm and Norm. Luka Doncic, best player in the 2020s. Luka is going to be the man. New York for life. What's going on, man? Got any hummus today, brother? What's going on? New York anger. Sugar tits. Yes, New York Italian anger. It's a thing. It's a thing. Which is always surprising to me. Because, I love the entertainer. That's my guy. That is the yin to my yang. That guy, that's what I'm talking. I mean, he's my guy. But it amazes me how he lives in Long Island and down in the city area. And he's Italian. And he's so calm. You would think I'm the guy that lived down there and he lived upstate. I don't know how he stays so calm. I don't know how he does it. I can't. I don't have it in me. I'm impatient. I'm loud. I'm stubborn. I'm all that stuff. I admit it. It is what it is. What I think about the Lakers? Hey, I thought they were going to win it all from day one, and they did. I thought they were going to win it all from day one, and that's what they did. Yeah, Luka's going to be great. Yeah, New York for life, we're doing well, man. You know, we survived that wicked storm that came through here, and, you know, we got our power back, and everything seems to be back in order. I got 2 free days off. Well, 1.5. I had to go in on Friday for a few hours, but because there was no power and the computer systems were down, I got a couple of extra days off. I had a 5-day weekend. It's going to suck going back to work tomorrow, but you got to do what you got to do. Should we draft Trevor Lawrence? Jazz Kinder Pal, if we're picking first, yes. If we're picking first. If Trevor Lawrence is staring us in the face, yes, we take him. Take him. I'm not going to argue that anymore. If Trevor Lawrence is available when we're picking, you take him. Jason Tatum is awesome, Fernando, but I gotta give it to Luka. I mean, Jamal Murray showed you what he's made of. Jamal Murray is going to be a star. Donovan Mitchell is going to be a star. There's a lot of good young players. Giannis, obviously, a lot of good young players in the NBA going forward. All right, Lord Commander, man, have a great night. Thank you for hanging out, buddy. I appreciate that. I'm probably going to go about 12:30 or so, 12:35, maybe another half an hour or so, and we will go. Who's better, Greg Bird or Aaron Hicks? Aaron Hicks is better than Greg Bird. At least Aaron Hicks can field. Aaron Hicks can run. I'd like to see Denver dump Millsap and pick up another big piece with the money. I'd also like to see Golden State land more piece as well. And then if Dallas can make a couple moves as well. Yeah, Denver, Millsap was a big reason they beat the Clippers. So Millsap really was the igniter in those third quarters to get them back in those games when they were losing big. But yeah, I can see that. Denver was my deep sleeper in the West early in the year. And I said that series of the Clippers is going at least 6. And then when they played game 6, I said this before game 6, I said they're going to 7. Denver's going to win game 6. Now, I didn't think Denver would win game 7, if I'm being honest, but they were my deep sleeper, and it did not surprise me that they took the Clippers to 7. It did surprise me that they beat the Clippers, but not surprise me that they gave them everything that they wanted. Would I rather work from home or go to the office? I'd rather go to the office. To be honest with you, New York for life, when we had the shutdown, I did work from home from March into early July. So for 4 months, I was home. And I can tell you this, the walls really start to close in on you when you're home. You would think you'd like it. It was nice that I didn't have to get up for the alarm and work at my own pace. But it's nice to get out of the house, and it's nice to come home because you appreciate your home a lot more when you come home to it rather than being in it all day. Because when you're in it all day, you want to get the hell out of it. When you're out of it all day, you can't wait to get back home. So I actually prefer going into the office. I really do. Yo, Gus, thank you for becoming a member, brother. I appreciate it. Brilly. Gus Gafoo became a new member. Gus, my man, welcome to the Dog Pound, baby. Thank you so much. Where are my Dog Pound members at? Welcome, Gus Gafoo, to the Dog Pound, baby. Welcome to the Dog Pound. Trey, get him a new GM. Do I think the Giants secondary is trash? No, I think the Giants secondary has done a pretty good job considering. Miami Heat are your team. The Heat had a hell of a run, Johnny. Hell of a run this year. Much respect to the Heat. Jimmy Butler is a damn good player. Jimmy Butler is a damn good player. Good, man. Guy is good. Not a fan of Duncan Robinson, though. That damn idiot needs to stop flopping. The dude flops around more than a fish out of water. That's got to stop. Tyler Hero needs to stop being a damn punk. Other than that, much respect to them. Nope, I have, S.N. Rossi. I mentioned Trey Lance. Like I said, I have to do more film study on him. Obviously, I do not watch South Dakota State football. I'd have to take a look at Trey Lance. I know he went to the same school as Carson Wentz. I don't know a lot about him. I'd have to look at him. I definitely know about Trevor Lawrence. I definitely know about Justin Fields. Though I know about those two quarterbacks, but I do not know about Trey Lance. I have to take a look at him. How much do I sleep a night? If I do a stream like this, I get about 5 hours of sleep. I'll go upstairs. I'll fall asleep about 1:45. I get about 1:45. So I get about 5 hours of sleep when I stream. When I do the Lakers into about 1:30 in the morning, I get 4 hours of sleep. But as I said, you guys give me all the energy in the world, so I don't mind. I can deal with 4 hours of sleep. I catch up on the weekends. I always say that. I sleep till like 9:30 on the weekends. Now that my kid is old enough where he's not waking up at 6:30 in the morning, I actually can sleep on weekends now because my kids sometimes will sleep till 9 o'clock, which is beautiful. Sumo, thank you for the super chat, brother. Brilly says, bring Nick Caserio from the Pats into the offseason. That is the guy here. That's a very sexy name. People keep bringing it up, and that is definitely somebody that the Giants may look at. I mean, we picked up Joe Judge. Obviously, we got the connection with Belichick. So bringing in Nick Caserio, that is definitely a possibility. He probably liked working with Judge, and he's been learning from Belichick for years. There you go. Exactly, Subo. I didn't even read the rest of your comment, and we were on the same page. So definitely. Gavin, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? He says North Dakota State produces terrible quarterbacks. That's because he's an Eagles fan. You loved Carson Wentz, man. Love him. What's going on, E-Dog? How you doing, man? He says, Lions fan here. Good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. Appreciate you coming in, my man. I don't know what the Lions are going to do in the future. The Lions are a strange team. Like, I never know what the hell to expect from them. They just kind of tread water. You know? They just kind of tread water. They're never – well, they were really bad last year. But I don't know. Like, they're never, like, elite, and they're never the worst. I don't know, man. They just kind of been treading water since Stafford got there. I don't know. It's been strange. Now that Matt Millen's not your GM, at least he's not your GM, drafting a wide receiver every freaking year. As a delivery driver, I made a killing with the lockdown, caught up on my debt, and got a savings account. Then my Subaru decided to blow a head gasket, $5K down the drain. That always happens here for life. I swear to God, it happens to me too. One step forward, two steps back. Sucks. I'm going to watch Bills Titans tomorrow. I'll probably have that on. I'll probably watch the Dodgers tomorrow. I'll probably watch both of the baseball games tomorrow. You love them a lot. I know you do. Gavin. Yeah, you guys are. You're always mediocre, man. Luca, indeed. Should have kept Caldwell. Yeah, they probably should have kept him. You know. Thoughts on Daniel Jones? I lose more and more faith in him every game. That's my thoughts on him. Needs a lot of talent to succeed. Should have been the 6th overall pick of the draft. I don't know what the future holds for him. I can tell you this: we're picking number 1 overall. His future is short with our team. Duke, thank you for the super chat. Brilly says breaking news: Rowdy the mascot to start a free safety for Dallas next week. Yeah, we don't have a lot of safeties either. I understand that. I get it. Guys, by the way, thank you for being here. If you haven't done so, man, hit that thumbs up button. It helps out the stream. So hit that thumbs up button. That's free. If you're new, happen to stumble in here, man, please subscribe. Like I said, I'll be doing a lot of these hangouts now that the Lakers are done, and I don't have to stream them every other day. But I'll have a lot more time to do these hangouts. I try to do a video almost every day. Sometimes I do 2 a day if I have time when I'm off of work like I did today. And I'll be working with other content creators and stuff. So I hope you guys will subscribe if you were new, like I said, and I got the best channel on YouTube. We have a lot of these. I love talking sports, man. It's one thing I do love to do, and it doesn't matter whose team it is or what sport it is. I love to talk about it. So I appreciate you guys being here. Am I a bandwagoner? Yeah, I'm a Giants bandwagon fan. I mean, the Giants have been so good. I hopped right on the bandwagon next TV. Yes, the Giants bandwagon right now is enormous. Yes. Huge bandwagon fan. Absolutely. Giants are definitely a bandwagon you want to jump on. 12-41 in their last 53 games. Yeah, definitely a bandwagon fan. Definitely jumped on this bandwagon. Michael Parsons or Trevor Lawrence? If they were drafted first, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Trevor Lawrence. What do you think do you think the Patriots are a playoff contender? They're a playoff contender. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. Playoff contender. Anytime you have Belichick, you're a playoff contender. Every time. If we get to 4-6 or 5-5 before the bye week, that'd be a miracle. That'd be a miracle if we got there, Dags. Tom Ty, thank you for the super chat. Really, man. Should the Giants fire Garrett as OC and hire Gates? You gotta be a Jets fan. Hell no. When Adam Gase went to the Jets, I made fun of that immediately. I said, how are you gonna get rid of Bowles and hire Adam Gase? That was like the worst thing the Jets could have possibly ever done to Sam Darnold. Exactly, Afghanistan. Bandwagon Giants fan, that's a myth. Awful. 12-51. 12-41. Moral playoffs, here we come. Yes, we're always that. We're always that. The moral victory police are out, man. John Morant, future MVP. John Morant is the real deal. I love him, man. He is freaking awesome. I wanted the Knicks to get him if they couldn't get Zion. Of course, we ended up with R.J. Barrett, but couldn't get Morant. But yes, Morant could be a future MVP. I love him. Great player. We don't need Lawrence. We put Lawrence behind Jones' position. We aren't profiting off of that. We need to draft either Rousseau, Parsons, or Jamar Chase. But then what do you do at quarterback? I mean, what do you do at quarterback? If you're drafting first, you got to take him. We're still rebuilding. You got to take him. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I understand if we're drafting, you could also put Penei Sewell in there. Penei Sewell would be a great addition to this team too. There's a lot of linebacker. You got edge rusher, linebacker, and wide receiver. We need all of them. I agree. And we could use Penei Sewell. We could use a guard as well. But I don't know if Daniel Jones is the guy. And I just know if we're picking first, it ain't going to matter what we want to do or what people want to do. They're going to take Trevor Lawrence. They're going to. My record for the Giants, 2-14. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see that. Just won the Super Bowl with the Giants man franchise. Wish it was that easy to rebuild the Giants. We're like, right? I know. If only life was a video game, we'd be all set. We'll lose the Washington. Well, we're going to find out this week. New York for life. At least we stay close to good teams. Jets are getting blown out by well, we got blown out by third stringers too. The 49ers killed us. 49ers just got walloped by the Miami Dolphins. They just got crushed by Miami. They lost to Philadelphia. And they murdered us. So we got beat up by third stringers too. Bring back Eli and Carmelo. Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. 13-41. Yeah, awful. What's going on, Martin? He says, we, the Los Angeles Chokers. Oh, I mentioned this, Martin. If you guys lose the NLCS, Dave Roberts is getting fired. Dave Roberts has to win a World Series. Has to. He's gone. He's gone, man. You become free agent of teams? I hear you. Nah, we'd be fine. Just look at it this way. If we ever go 0-16, we got nowhere to go but up. New York has the most erratic management. They really do, BBD. They really do. Giants get a king's ransom for the first pick. They could. They could. But I just don't. I don't think you can pass. I don't think you can pass. And I'll ask this again. I asked this at the beginning. I'll be asked this at the beginning of the stream. Daniel Jones will be going into his third year of his rookie contract. They get 4 years. They can pick up a fifth-year option. Okay. By the time Daniel Jones hits year 5, at that point, maybe there's talent around him. Do you really want to pay Daniel Jones $170 million for 5 years after his rookie contract is up? Because that's what franchise quarterbacks get. Do you really want to invest $170 million in Daniel Jones, hoping that when he has better talent around him, he's a better quarterback? Is that what you want? Because I'm going to tell you this, if you're not going to give Daniel Jones 5 years, $170 million, do you think that there's a better quarterback coming out 2 years from now that you're going to replace Daniel Jones with? Are you going to be picking first and have the opportunity to get that quarterback? This is the problem with if we pick first, why you need to take Trevor Lawrence. Unless you believe Daniel Jones is worth $170 million and he is the franchise quarterback and you want to pay him all that money and you think he's going to win a Super Bowl. Because if you don't think that, if you're not sold on that, then it makes sense to take Trevor Lawrence if he's there. Honestly. Tom Ty, thank you for the super chat. Really, I really appreciate that, man. He says, bigger choke, Aaron Judge or Latrell Sprewell? I would go Judge. I mean, Sprewell got us to the finals in 1999. A Knicks team that was the 8th seed in the East. And we went into the finals and lost to the Spurs because we didn't have Patrick Ewing. I mean, the Spurs were a great team too, but it didn't help that we were beat up. Sprewell got the Knicks to the finals. Judge hasn't brought the Yankees to a World Series. And Judge is terrible in the postseason. So I would say Judge. $170 million in food stamps and coupons. That's my final up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jones doesn't really have a huge upside. I agree. I don't think he does. I was thinking that for a while, but watching him play, seeing that he just isn't developing the way I hoped he would, it's hard to say that I would be a guy that's on board to give Daniel Jones a long-term deal. It's difficult. Awesomeness Sports, what's going on, man? 170 million pennies and a pack of now layers. There you go. There you go, man. Kids in here don't know the Latrell Sprewell choke. Actually, I kind of missed what he said there. That went over my head, BB13. It went right over my head because I forgot about him choking PJ Carlesimo. It went right over my head. I still think that Aaron Judge is a bigger choker. Still think he's a bigger choker. Yeah, he choked PJ Carlesimo when he was in Portland. And it's funny because I can remember the headlines of the New York Daily News back in, it was either 98. I think it was 98 when did the Knicks get Sprewell? Was it 97? Whatever year that was. I can remember the big headline. It said, "It's no choke. The Knicks are interested in Latrell Sprewell." I remember that. It's no choke. The Knicks are looking at Latrell Sprewell. I understand your criticism on Jones, but please consider watching Talking Giants. Her video Make It Happen, breaking down Daniel Jones's final drive. This is the thing, Simon. I don't know what Talking Giants is. The only Talking Giants I know is me and Chris. I'm not going to worry about somebody else's breakdown of Daniel Jones because I have formulated my own opinion on him. The final drive, are you talking about against the Cowboys? Like I said, to me, Daniel Jones hasn't improved. He's got 2 touchdowns in 5 games, guys. He has 2 touchdowns in 5 games. Right? What does he have? 9 turnovers? No progressions. No pocket awareness. Bad decisions with the football. Stares down the receiver. Too many damn rookie mistakes. Not a rookie anymore. Gus Cafoo, thank you for the super chat. Brilliant, man. I really appreciate it. Because Bonds deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. 100% yes. Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before the steroid allegations. Barry Bonds went on steroids, supposedly. And when he did, he was the modern-day Babe Ruth. I have never in my life seen a better player than Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds was a multiple-time Gold Glove winner, a seven-time MVP, was a 30-30 guy for many years, was the best player in baseball before steroids. And the only reason Barry Bonds took steroids is because of his ego. Goose, what's going on, man? Thank you for the super chat. Really. First member ever on the channel, by the way, Goose Sports. Shout out to Goose. Got a great channel over there. Big Louisiana football fan, New Orleans Sports, LSU. She live streams a lot of games. So check that channel out if you have not. Goose is a very hard worker, one of my favorites on YouTube. Great dude. He says, "Who dat?" Yeah, big comeback. You guys losing 20-3. 20-10 at halftime is when I turned the game off. Went over to the Dodgers and Braves. But as I was saying about Barry Bonds, he said that McGuire and Sosa suck. And they did. And he said, they get to take steroids? And they're making a big deal about these guys hitting all these home runs? Watch what I do when I take them. Dude had a freaking 600 on base percentage. Dude slugged like 900 one year. Dude hit 370 one year. And hit 46 home runs, and he got walked 220 times. He was absolutely ridiculous. I have a Barry Bonds San Francisco Giants jersey. Barry Bonds is one of my all-time favorite players. I don't care that the guy took steroids. Everybody took steroids in that era. And that guy was by far and away the best of all of them. Not close. He is a Hall of Famer in my book. The rest of the steroid users, I'd put A-Rod in there. I know A-Rod used steroid. The only steroid users I'm putting in the Hall of Fame, Clemens, Bonds, A-Rod. That's it. Not Palmeiro. Palmeiro would have never been. The only reason I say this, I mean, A-Rod there's rumors of A-Rod taking him in high school. I don't know that to be true. Obviously, when he got to Texas, this is when he tested positive for him. He was a great player in Seattle anyway. Canseco is not a Hall of Famer. McGuire is not a Hall of Famer. McGuire was trash, complete one-dimensional player. McGuire would have been great in this day and age. McGuire was really the first of the strikeout 200 times, hit 200, but hit 62 home runs. Couldn't field, couldn't run, couldn't do a damn thing. I always thought Sosa was a better player than McGuire. He's not a Hall of Famer. None of those other guys are. But Bonds, that guy is unbelievable. The ball that he hit off Troy Percival in the 2002 World Series, that hasn't landed yet. That might have been the farthest ball I've ever seen hit in my life. When I end this stream, look that up on YouTube. Look up Barry Bonds' home run off Troy Percival, man. He murdered that. Hot take hockey, what's going on? I was mentioning him earlier, guys. There he is. So somebody asked me to do Rangers games next year. Like I said, I ain't doing hockey. I can't do hockey play-by-play. But that guy right there, hot take hockey, he can. He's the best in the business on YouTube. Sub him up if you want hockey content. But, Johnny, this is what I'm saying to you. Hot take hockey next year, some point, if you stream a Ranger game, you got to pipe me in there. I'm not going to do play-by-play. I'll let you do the play-by-play, but I can, react to it and talk about it. But we got to do a stream together next year. If you stream a Rangers game, we got to do it. We got to work on that. Our energy might break the internet together, but we got to do it anyway. That has to happen, Johnny. We have to do that. That needs to happen. That needs to happen. Can't tell a story about Bonds was the man. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, we definitely do, HTH. That has to happen. We have definitely got to collab. There is no doubt about that. Pudge Rodriguez, no, not a Hall of Famer. Not a Hall of Famer. I feel like he was on steroids his entire career. Do you think Washington's a new quarterback? Absolutely. They don't believe in Dwayne Haskins. Absolutely not. They don't believe in him at all. Nope. Dwayne Haskins ain't their future. Dwayne Haskins will be gone next year. Will not be in Washington. Nope. And I called that. I said that from day one. Prayers for Dak, absolutely. Mark, there's no doubt. That's why I did the video for Dak. Rangers got the first pick. Yes, they did. They got Alexis Lafreniere. So they got Alexis, they got Laf, and they got Kako, and they're a young team. So I figure next year, I figure this year they'd be good anyway. But once they got Laf, they all of a sudden became really big contenders, and it'll be interesting to watch them. Again, unfortunately, MSG, for whatever reason, for many, many years up here in upstate New York, showed the Rangers. The Rangers were the broadcast here, and then about 8 years ago, they changed it over to the Sabres. I don't know why. I'm much, much closer to New York City than I am Buffalo. Buffalo is a good 5.5 hours away from me. It is all the way on the other side of the state. I am about as east as you can get in New York. Buffalo is about as west as you can get. It is a good 5.5 hours. New York City is about 3 hours. So, I don't know. I get every other New York City team. I get not that there's a Buffalo, any other team, but I don't get the Bills. I get the Jets. I don't get Buffalo. I get the Jets. All right, Fabian, have a great night, man. Appreciate you being here. Yes, real metrics. How can I be the man? Be the man. Exactly. Dak was greedy. Unfortunately, turned down $110 million guaranteed for a few more. Well, I'll tell you what. Henry, he gambled on himself. What happened was unfortunate. That guy was having a monster season. He was going to get paid big. He invested in himself, and he was winning until that freak accident. HGH, no doubt. I think that it'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to watch the Rangers this year. No doubt. Jay Strubs, thank you for the super chat. I don't know what happened to your message. But Brilly, man, I really appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Chislo, thank you for the super chat. Brilly. He says it's at that point where 0-5 is normally now. Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that suck that every week we have to go, God, I just hope we get better. God, I just hope we do better. Doesn't that suck as a fan when that is your goal? Oh, geez, I just hope we improve. I just hope we improve. Sucks. Sucks as a fan, man. Kalen, how can I be the man when you're the man? King of Jr. didn't take steroids. No, he did not. No, he did not. Afghanistan says, thumbs up the stream. Why not? Hell yes. We'll go over another 5 minutes and I will close it out, get some sleep. I got to work tomorrow, which always sucks that I got to get up that early. And I actually do have to get, a lot of times I get up at 5:45. I just wake my wife up. She's got to be to work. She has to drop her son off at the babysitter. I pick him up. So I usually go back to sleep like 40 minutes, but I can't. I got to take the garbage out tomorrow. I got to make sure I eat breakfast. I didn't have anything to bring to work with me because you can't use the microwave there because of the whole stupid Corona thing. And I got to make coffee. I ran out of freaking coffee pods, so I actually have to make a pot of coffee. So I actually have to get up at 5:45. I don't want to. I went 5 to set up for crumbs, pretty much. Rangers have 4 absolute studs on offense. Panarin, Kako, Laugh, and Zibanejad. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Like I said, Simon, Hot Take Hockey got me interested in hockey again. Like I said, I'm a casual Rangers fan. When they make the playoffs, I watch them. You know, during the regular season, I don't watch them as much. I suffer with the Knicks. But like I said, you know, I would go into almost every one of his playoff hockey streams, especially if I had an opportunity to. I was in almost every one of them, even if it was for 5 minutes. Sometimes I was in those streams for 5 minutes. Sometimes I was in them for 5 hours. It just depended on how much time I had. But he got me hyped up for hockey again. So, yeah, I mean, I won't watch every Ranger game, but I will definitely watch more than I have. There's no doubt about that. Chislo, thank you for the super chat again, brother. Brilly says, a win feels like we won the Super Bowl. You ain't lying. I don't even remember what it feels like to win. I don't even remember what it feels like. We have won 1 out of our last 16 games. Oh, no, 2, because Eli won a game. Daniel Jones has won 1 out of his last 16 games. Pretty crappy. Really crappy. Oh, Alexis, Alexi, you don't need to thank me. I thank you for being here. As always. I watched the Knicks at the beginning of the season, then they go 3-35. Well, yeah, I mean, pretty much. Pretty much. First time sending a super chat, but just wanted to say thanks for grinding every day, even with a job, and shout out to you and Chris for watching the full game every week. That's George Strubs, man. I appreciate that very much, brother. I really do. Yeah, like I said, Chris and I, you know, that's why it's funny when that guy came in here and told me I'm a fake fan, because if I'm a fake fan, why do I make videos the entire season? Why do Chris and I do the Talk of Giants every week? Why do we stream the game every week? If I'm a fake fan, why would I waste my time with the Giants? Because I don't like Andrew Thomas the first 5 games, I'm a fake fan. Well, I'm sorry. I tend to disagree. I don't think a fake fan would put as much time and effort into the Giants as I do if I was a fake fan. Fake fans walk away from their team. I haven't walked away in 37 years, and I don't plan on it. Why do I suffer with the Knicks over the Rangers? I just always like basketball better. Honestly. That's why. Big up to my fellow Central New York. Yeah, I'm like upstate New York, not really Central New York. I'm not Syracuse or Utica. You know, that's more not Utica. Yeah, Utica's more central. Saratoga's more upstate. But I hear you, Mr. Awesome Man. CBS does suck. Yes, it does. Bad Dog, you're unreal. One of the best I've interacted with here on YouTube. Love this channel. You're an absolute legend. How can I be a legend when you're a legend, Johnny? I want the Giants to win most weeks as long as they ain't playing my team. I hear you, but your team's going to have an easy W. I appreciate the comment too, man. You know the feeling's mutual, buddy. You know that. I got the utmost respect for you. Like I said, if there's one guy that I've watched that streams that brings the same amount of intensity and energy to a stream, it's you. And the reason I respect and appreciate so much is because you can tell you absolutely love what you're doing. You love hockey. You love what you're doing. You genuinely love it. That comes through on a screen. You can tell guys that stream and go through the motions. You can tell guys that do it for fame or views or money. You can tell that. You can also tell guys that absolutely love what they're doing and interact with their chat. It's not everybody does that. You do it. So that's why I respect it. If there's anybody on here that's like me, it's you. So obviously I gotta I got to appreciate what you're doing. Thank you, Jorge. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it very much. But guys, I am going to get out of here. I do have to get some sleep because, like I said, I do have to work tomorrow morning, which sucks. I don't know. Tomorrow, like I said, I'll have a video up tomorrow. Probably not going to live stream. I do have to get in contact with HTTR. I do want to work with him this week, probably Wednesday. I got to make sure he can do it on Wednesday. If I can do that, I'm gonna look for a Redskin or a Washington football team fan to come on here. I do want to work with HTTR. I've known him for a long time, so I want to have him on the channel. We talked about that, so I'm gonna see if he can come on Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to be on Ed Oliver's channel talking about the Giants and the Washington football team game on Thursday. So I'll be over there. I'll put it in my community notes. I'll give you his channel. I've worked with Ed before. Ed's a great guy, really good Redskins video, really good Washington football team video maker. Look forward to working with him. Friday night, talking Giants. And Saturday, we'll see what the day brings. Maybe if the Dodgers are still playing, I don't know what their schedule is. Maybe I'll do the Dodgers. Try to get the Dodgers game in here. If the Dodgers make the World Series, I do plan on doing a couple of those games. But we'll see what the schedule brings. And, whatever I do, hopefully I see you guys there. As always, I appreciate you being here tonight. I appreciate you watching the videos and commenting. It means the world to me that you take your time to spend it with me. You could be doing a lot of other things, but you choose to spend it with me, whether it's a live stream or watching my videos. So I appreciate the hell out of you guys and girls. I can never say it enough, how much you mean to me. And I say it all the time. My channel is nothing without you. So you guys are the reason my channel is what it is. And I could never do it. I could never reach this level without you guys. So I really do appreciate all your support. It means the world to me. And you guys have a great night. And hopefully you check out whatever video I do tomorrow. Don't know what I'm going to do a video on, but I'll try to do something. So until then, enjoy the rest of your night. Bad diggity dizzle, guys. I'm gone. Peace. I really got to do it twice. Now I can do it. Peace.